Fair to say an unbelievable atmosphere already here at Optus Stadium. Around 33,000 will be in attendance. It's been a bit of a rock concert. Settled down a touch now, Den, for Coates Hire. This is the Triple M footy preview. Whatever you needed, Coates Hire can make it happen. Search Coates Hire today. The music's been pumping.
Yes, a lot of confidence around the town about the West Coast Eagles too. Everyone saw that game back in round 8, and of course they dominated. It became a parade as far as the West Coast Eagles were concerned, led by Nick Nat Nui. I doubt it will happen tonight, but there's an air of, I suppose, not overconfidence, but certainly confidence in this city.
So they were unsettled, the Pies, weren't they, back in that game? I mean, I think literally 5 minutes before the bounce of the footy, Pendlebury was out of the game. In fact, Oscar Allen did an interview with us during the week, and he said he didn't realise that Pendlebury was out of the game until about halfway through the first quarter. And he turned to the player that he was playing on and said, "Where's Pendlebury?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, no, he's not playing." And then the player turned back to him and said, "Where's Gov?" "Oh, no, he's not playing either." So, I mean, it's quite funny. We get carried away with who's in and out, but the players just go out and play the game of footy, don't they?
Well, that's right. They just prepare to play the opposition at their absolute best, and there's no way Collingwood will be like they were that particular night. They were well beaten by West Coast. We spoke to Brendan Sanderson earlier. They threw that tape away. They are coming from an ambush tonight. Don't worry about that. The Pies are here to play.
They did start well in that game. You've got to say that. The first quarter, not bad, but after that, it just fell away completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were lost at the end.
So the players are making their way to this broadcast site. They'll line up. The umpires are already lined up. West Coast are nearly there. Collingwood are pretty much ready to go. We've got the Welcome to Country and then, of course, the National Anthem. As we get stuck into the last final of this weekend, it's an elimination final. Who will make it to the next round? That'll be determined tonight. Is it going to be West Coast or is it going to be Collingwood? And as I said, the Welcome to Country now.
Toyota welcome you to the first elimination final between the West Coast Eagles and Collingwood. The AFL acknowledges the Noongar people, traditional owners of the land we gather on this evening, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. We acknowledge we play our great game on this land and respect the cultures of all First Peoples, their contribution to our nation and contribution to the game of Australian rules football. Traditional owner Oral Maguire Wajak Baladong Noongar will now perform the Welcome to Country.
Kaya, wanju, nunok ngan Europe jeneng necha nunok yarin nyening necha nyunga boja wajak weirn barang. Hello and welcome to Nyunga country. This land is Wajak country. My people, the Wajak people, hold and our spirit holds this land as Wajak boja. Daman maman gat weirn Europe jeneng nunok necha nyening tarangin nganywangi necha Wajak boja. We call on the spirit of our grandmothers and our grandfathers to be with us here today on our tribal lands, the Nyunga nation of the Wajak clan. Nicha warlik bamin kulbari, nija walbanin marn gruk yakaiva, nicha Wajak boja. Today, the West Coast Eagles will clash with the Collingwood Magpies here on Wajak country, on Nyunga land. All the best, Yakai AFL.
Would you now please join the coaches, players and umpires as we stand for the Australian National Anthem.
Our land
Follow this game, hashtag AFL Eagles Pies. We're not far away from the bounce of the footy. The West Coast Eagles up against Collingwood. The winner to go through to the semi-finals. The loser is done for season 2020. And if it's a West Coast Eagles loss, Andrew Embley, they are done and they are back into quarantine. Quite unbelievable. 14 more days of quarantine.
It's just been an incredible year, and I'm sure both sides want to get through to next week. Just cannot wait for this ruck contest between Nick Natanui and Brodie Grundy tonight. Brodie Grundy had his colours lowered by Nick Nat last time these two teams played. Brodie Grundy in game 150. Natanui's taken his crown as the All-Australian ruckman this year. I reckon Brodie Grundy's got to come to play tonight. He's really got to knock Nick over, get the midfielders, get the ball to them, because as we know, Collingwood have got a really good midfield group, and it's an area where they can get hold of West Coast if they're strong in the contest.
Dan, give us your thoughts before we head down to 10.
Well, the West Coast Eagles averaged 77 points a game on this ground this season. That would win this game tonight. Don't worry about that against Collingwood, who don't kick big scores. They average 8 goals a game.
For Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3, get 1 free on selected performance tyres from Bridgestone and Yokohama. BobJane.com.au. 10, it's a nice night for footy. You're not going to be rained on, and it's, well, not overly cold, is it?
It's
Bitterly
pretty
cold.
It is pretty chilly, but Nathan Buckley doesn't feel the cold. He's got his short sleeve polo shirt on when he was lined up for the anthem. So it's about 16 degrees at the moment, and you can tell these footy fans have been starved of football. It's normally pretty subdued West Coast Eagles matches, not a lot of music, but this one is pumping. Everyone's on their feet waiting for the first bounce. So Scotty Pendlebury, the Collingwood captain, he has won the toss. Kicking to the right-hand side of the dial, which is sort of into the very stiff breeze that's blowing. It's blowing the flags on top of the stadium, but it's hard to know what it's doing exactly out in the middle. It's sort of swirling where I'm sitting on the boundary, so can't wait for this one.
Absolutely, 10 winners so far in the finals. Port by 16 over Geelong, Brisbane by 15 over Richmond, and the Saints by 3 earlier today over the Western Bulldogs. This is the elimination final. West Coast up against Collingwood, and to call this game, we've got the best in the business, Dennis Cometti.
Sheed starting on the bench, and so is Treloar. That's interesting. Out in the middle, Natanui and Grundy renew their battle from round 8. He certainly took the points, Natanui, that time. Let's see what he does this time. It's a new day, or a new night. Knocked down by Grundy. He won the first tap, taken the opposite side of the pack by Redden. He kicks it through the centre. Still only a couple of metres outside the rim as it turns out. Picked up by Adams. He kicks it, blanketed by an opponent there in Kelly. Socket off the ground, only as far as Shepherd. Shepherd a hand pass across to Duggan. Duggan kicks it out wide. That could have been in the back to Ryan. Big cry from the crowd. The umpire agrees, and it will be a free kick to Ryan right on the wing on the southern side of Optus Stadium.
30 seconds gone in this elimination final. Ryan has it, far side of the ground, wing position. Collingwood with the numbers back. Nelson tried to shepherd off the mark, and then he gave a little 1-2 with Ryan. Nearly ran into trouble. He'll get it back again, Ryan, from Gaff, and then got caught in a tackle. Ball will roll over the boundary line, but he got another 30 metres further afield, but it wasn't pretty, Andrew Embley.
It wasn't. Just looking forward to watching the matchup tonight between Brad Shepherd, All-Australian this year, on De Goey. De Goey's a match winner.
No score, a minute gone. Ball thrown back in, right half forward for West Coast. The tap forward from Natanui heads over the boundary one more time. 55 now around from the Eagles' goal, and we'll throw it back into play.
Just watching Dacos at the moment, going pretty close with Andrew Gaff, so we'll see how that unfolds. It could be a hard tag there. Gaff, we know, a really hard runner, finding plenty of the football this season.
Both ruckmen missed it on that occasion. Gaff gathered to Cripps, back into the team. He kicks inside, attacking 50. Ball punched away from Kennedy. Grabbing it was Ryan. He lost possession. Archie throws himself in there. Over the top of it, Crisp comes out to Quaynor. And then tight to the boundary at Adams. Adams kicks it up towards half forward. Is there a push in the back? No, said the umpire. And then a kick further afield by Sy will go into the hands of Duggan, and Duggan at right half back will kick backwards towards his defensive 50.
About 30 metres backwards, taken in the back pocket by Barris. Short pass coming out then. Redden across the ground. Too high for Cripps. Quaynor knocks it away. Took an obliging bounce though for Cripps. Came directly back to him. Now Allen's got the football over the top to Ryan. Ryan looking for Kennedy. Half volley. Couldn't reel it in. Madgen goes in. Picks it up for Collingwood. Bowled over. Oh, it's an ugly pack about 25 metres out from goal. Umpire lets them play. Adams stood up and they put him back in his box, and there's going to be a ball up now directly in front of goal. A lot of players around the footy. The umpires tonight, Du Bois, Meredith and Finlay, tossed in the air. Grundy won it to the side of the pack. Still a dangerous spot for Collingwood. They can't get it out. Grundy goes after a hard ball, did brilliantly. Got it to Greenwood, to Dacos, leaving it behind his main. Tries to knock it out of bounds. Chance for Nat Nui at the top of the square, and he's missed. Kick missed by a metre to the right. He was only 12 metres out, and West Coast on the attack early.
The kick out's a short one, so the Pies move the ball quickly. Moore has it, kicks it along the line. It's a good one towards Myercheck. He had to keep it in play. McGovern said it wasn't in play. The umpire will call it back, will he? I think he might. Myercheck played on. McGovern just stood there and chatted with the umpire. And now we'll deliver the ball back towards the boundary line. There's a player down in Shuey off the ball. We'll throw it back in, far side wing position again. We'll throw him back into play. Nui, the man in front, tempted down Gaff, couldn't hold on to it. And Greenwood will gather for the Pies. He kicks it inside, attacking 50. Myercheck couldn't take the mark. Shepherd grabbed hold of it, gave it to Duggan. His ball bounces awkwardly for several players. Dacos falls over after being knocked over by a teammate. Redden picks it up. He kicks it further afield. Chris drops a mark. And the Pies under pressure. Here's Moore, caught in a tackle, loses possession. Darling has it on the wing. That hit an opponent. Gaff gathered, gave it back to Darling. He's pushed off the ball as he tried to kick it further afield. Well done, Magin. Gave it off to Dacos. Dacos on his left, through the legs of a teammate. This is sloppy stuff. They've been in quarantine, no doubt about that, Dan. It's really ordinary to watch as it's on the far side of the ground.
Shepherd, a hand pass towards Darling. In comes Dacos to Myercheck. Myercheck looks inside the forward 50. Not a particularly good kick. Nicely gathered by Hearn. Hearn a hand pass to Duggan. He started well. We'll get his stats in a minute. He might have had 10 kicks by now, or at least possessions. And the ball, a high one towards the wing, is hammered out of bounds by Darling, who wasn't in the best position. Came up behind his opponent and just got it so they can get a stoppage and regroup on the outer side, the West Coast Eagles. And again, Grundy and Nat Nui. Grundy is doing okay at the present time. Knocks it down in front, follows up. Ball has been taken and left-footed by Pendlebury inside the forward 50. Barris rises above the pack, didn't touch it, came back to him. Cox goes in, socket off the ground there by Allen. And now they go forward towards the wing, the West Coast Eagles, but it breaks down. Long kick from Main, back inside the forward 50. Off the pack, it comes behind, taken there by Waterman. Waterman looks to the back pocket. Held his composure very well there. Gave it to Hearn. Hearn goes short. Redden's got it again. Up from the back pocket. Sorry.
Just going to work a bit harder at the moment. The Pies inside forward 50. They've gone tall. When that ball comes to the ground, the Eagles have been able to win it a little bit too easy. Their small's got to make a contest to be able to lock some football inside Collingwood's forward 50.
So West Coast just one behind. Collingwood yet to score. The ball was fisted by Moore over the boundary line. So we'll throw it back into play. Left half forward for the Pies. Good start. So the ball gets thrown in. Grundy's the man in front, but he gets nudged out the way. Nat Nui gathers and then kicks it further afield in towards the centre square. Ball bounces into the hands of Maynard. He gathers and torpedoes it inside attacking 50. Oh, McGovern read it best, took the mark. He'll go short outside his defensive 50 to Redden. He'll want to switch play to this broadcast side. Decides to kick it in the direction of Duggan. Possessions for him in a moment, Beast, as his kick was nearly fumbled by Ainsworth. Gave it back towards Duggan. Gathers it, has a run and a bounce, and then chips it further afield to Cripps on the wing. Cripps has got time to measure a kick. Decides to go inside 50. Here comes Kennedy, although it didn't get to him in the end. Well done by Moore. Chris there to help out. And he'll have a bounce. 45 out from his defensive goal. Sidestep, Natanui, kick to the middle of the ground. Oh, Duggan takes the mark. Gives it to Ainsworth. Ainsworth's kick inside 50. Kennedy, Darling. And Darling has taken the mark. Allen stands in the goal square demanding the kick. But Jack Darling says, I'm going to have a crack from 55.
And I reckon Jack called out Jack there. Chris was called out and he let it go, and Darling's taken the mark. The way you saw it, Embers?
Perfectly called, Dennis.
So Duggan is racking him up. Beast, how many possessions for him?
He has 8 already on the Triple M Movember stats lock.
A great start. We've only gone 7 minutes. West Coast one behind. Trying to stretch it out a little further. Collingwood yet to score. Darling right on the 50, sends it on its way. It's travelling, but I don't know where it's gone through. I think it might, in fact. More came from behind the goals, but it was already over. And Darling scores the first of the evening in the elimination final. They're 1-1-7. Collingwood yet to score. That's on the Triple M Choice Hotels scoreboard. Book direct at choicehotels.com for hotels across Australia for the lowest prices guaranteed. Terms apply.
Well, Collingwood at the moment, so just a couple of their kicks that have gone inside forward 50. Mycheck's got the defensive forward role, and McGovern, he was beaten in a one-on-one contest. He's got to find a way, Mycheck, to get that ball to ground, because once McGovern takes that mark, we know how West Coast and how good they are on the counter-attack, and that's what they did. They went from coast to coast, and there was space inside forward 50. They had a couple of options, lowered the eyes to find Darling.
And figures tell us Jack Darling is the best shot at goal in the AFL.
Wow.
Found that out just yesterday. The Beast brought it to my attention.
66% accuracy.
Thank you, Beast.
They could be a bit rubbery.
Could be a bit rubbery.
Oh, sorry.
The Triple M November stats are never rubbery.
That's true. Back in the centre. Wait for the bounce. This will be interesting. Cameron against Allen. Cameron decisively hooks it down behind, taken by Pendlebury. He moves out of centre, kicks it long inside the forward 50. Coming up, Hearn. Oh, that's a terrific mark by the former captain. He flirted with the idea of going on, decided against it. Hand passes to Shepherd, cuts back Shepherd, looks across the ground, and the mark is taken on the arc of the 50 by Barris. He goes short and finds Cole. Cole has the ball on the outer side. Another short kick as they work it around. No urgency out there. And the ball has been taken by Duggan once more. What a quarter he's playing, Duggan. What a breakout season he's had. A long kick down towards half forward. Big pack. Terrific mark in front by Cameron. And if you cast your mind back to round 8, he had 2 goals by quarter time.
Yep, 7 plays nothing. It's the Eagles in the lead, 9 gone in this first quarter. To go, he gathers, kicks it further afield inside attacking 50. McGovern all on his own. Ball bounces away from him, has to run and pick it up. Goes by hand to Duggan again. Another possession. He's up to 10, I reckon now, Beast, as he hand passed straight back to McGovern. And deliberate. So McGovern stepped over the boundary line because the pressure was coming his way. The umpire said that was deliberate. Now the quick kick inside attacking 50. Cox has taken it. They make the most of it. And the big fella comes down with the footy and he'll go back from about 40 metres out. Eagles fans not happy.
This will be big for his confidence. Just Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Just having a look at McGovern taking the ball over the line. I reckon that was stiff, but just the kick to the top of the goal square almost. He's probably about 30 metres out, Mason Cox, but those big long arms in West Coast weren't able to get back quick enough to be able to get that ball to ground. This is big coming up.
Very bad decision.
40 out from goal. The big fella nails it. Back to a 1-point margin. 1-1-7 West Coast. The Magpies 1 straight 6. Here's the thoughts with thanks to Seabus, a super fund you can trust. Andrew Embley.
Mason Cox is going to be really important for Collingwood. He wasn't out there the last time these two teams played. He's strong in the air. He's just got to have to make McGovern and Barris accountable. Barris has got the job on Mason Cox today. And there's a good start by Cox. Just having a look at Jeremy McGovern at the moment. Get some treatment to that right finger of his. Looks like he'll be okay.
So what the umpire is saying in that situation, you must go inboard. Now, a man is running directly at him. They're sort of face-to-face, aren't they? A metre in from the line. He chooses to go outside. I can't see that's a kick in any shape or form.
But he's under pressure as well. That's,
exactly.
It's a poor decision by the umpire.
The Monopoly game at Macca's is making winners. Download the app now and get a free chest opening the next day for your chance to win amazing prizes for McDonald's Triple M Rocks Footy.
Back in the setup. Eagles lead by a point. Good bounce too, straight up. Nui didn't leave the ground. Cameron did. Nui caught it. Kicks it down towards half forward then. Petrocelli in trouble. Gets a hand pass away. Slick there by the West Coast Eagles. It was knocked across by Ryan. But come unglued, so Ryan goes back in to try and reconstruct things. But Dacos it is who emerges from the pack with the footy. Kicks a wobbly kick across the ground. Stevenson in the long sleeves. Not flattering for Colling with those long sleeves. On the logo on the outer side. Elliott's got it now. Kicks it down towards the pocket. Hoskin Elliott. Running back has taken the mark where the arc of the 50 meets the boundary. So Duggan's got him, and Duggan so far has been a star. Kick coming from Hoskin Elliott, drives it long down towards full forward. Big pack, and Cox has marked it again. Oh, well done, big fellow. In front, got both hands on it, took it cleanly, and try as they might, and there were some good aerialists in that pack from the West Coast Eagles, they couldn't get a mitt to it.
Well, there's a little bit of 2018 preliminary final about this with Mason Cox so far. He is looking really likely in the air. He's a confident player, and he started the game really well. If he can go back and kick too, this will be huge.
And his team will lead by 5 points if in fact he does. And here comes Cox. Kicks the goal. He's feeling it at the moment, and a challenge for the West Coast defence. The Magpies are 2 straight, and the West Coast Eagles are 1-1. And that's on the Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
The big American Pie at the moment is just presenting, and Collingwood have got confidence to get the ball in the air and allowing him to be able to get a run and jump. Barris has just got to work harder to stop the run and the jump of Mason Cox at the moment. He's just sitting off a little bit. He's got to put a little bit more pressure on, more body on.
Bob Jane T-Mart's 10 on the boundary.
Yeah, well, Australian forward Liam Ryan, he tweaked his ankle a few minutes ago. The doctor's been out to him. He just doesn't look right, and he's hobbled to the bench now. He's got the doctor sitting next to him having a quiet word.
Bob Jane T-Mart's buy 3, get 1 free on selected performance tyres from Bridgestone in Yokohama, bobjane.com.au. And as Dan said, it's a 5-point lead for the Pies. Great start. 14 gone in this first quarter for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy. And the big fellas dominating for the Magpies as we bounce the footy back in the middle. 30-odd thousand in attendance here in Perth. Natanui taps it down. Trying to shark it was Adams. Kicked off the ground by De Goey. And tackle below the knees. So it's going to go Collingwood's way against Redden. Treloar the man to receive it in the middle of the grounds. Eagles fans not happy. And Treloar will gather and kick. Inside attacking 50 again. Cox is there again! The big fella's holding another one! And he'll go back from 45. He is putting on a show right now.
Oh, he's strutting as well. The big fella. He just looked at a couple of West Coast players and go, you guys have been playing this game your whole life and I haven't, and I am destroying you at the moment.
Well, we're right behind at Embers. He's already got 2. And now, my friend, he's got 3. 3 big ones for the big fella. 3 straight 18. That plays 1-1-7. 15 gone in this first quarter. This is a performance to behold.
Oh, Mason Cox is just dominating.
He's getting cocky.
It's big. He's standing up, and this is exactly what Collingwood need. They need to be able to stand up inside forward 50, take marks and kick goals, especially against this West Coast Eagles defence. You've got to make them accountable. And at the moment, the Eagles have made the change. So McGovern has gone to Mason Cox. So Barris is off him straight away. Concerns from the Eagles box.
I'm going to say, Embers, those kicks coming in are perfect, just in front of his head. So Barris can't get the run. He can't hang back. He's got to come with him. And then size does count. 3 straight to 1-1. Collingwood on the move thanks to their big man up forward. He's been outstanding. Back in the centre, cool night in Perth. The things hotting up on the ground. Collingwood's way. Grundy is doing okay too. No sign of the dominance from round 8 for Natanui so far. There's the bounce, a good one again. Natanui wins the tap. That's better. As far as the West Coast Eagles are concerned, down the throat of Redden. He kicks inside the forward 50. Ball knocked away from the pack, taken by Crisp. He kicks it towards the outer side. Running strongly is Elliott over the top. Treloar. There's another man on. Slips the hand pass away. Thomas has got it now. Fires a pass in. Stevenson held on. It's played a mark. It came out, but he got it before it hit the deck. He's 65 metres out from goal. Sends it down towards full forward. Big pack, almost a Collingwood mark in that pack. It wasn't Cox. Now the ball is picked up by Duggan. Can't find a way through. Got a hand pass to Gaff in the end. Worked out okay. Deep in the back pocket, a hand pass comes from Redden under real pressure. Hearn kicks it out to left half back. Marcus taken by Ryan. On the move is Kennedy, surrounded by 3 Collingwood players. But the kick from Ryan was superb. Just put him into space. Kennedy goes short and finds Oscar Allen.
11 points, the lead by the Pies. The short pass to Shuey. Shuey still has it left half back. He goes back towards Nelson. Got some time and space. Has a bit of a run and kicks it up towards half forward. Allen there up against the couple. Comes down towards Kelly. He had a fumble. Crisp is having a really good game. So too Madgen. Runs through the middle. Hand pass to Treloar. Now to Pendlebury.
Oh.
Here they go again, the Pies. Adams has it. Decides to kick it 2 against 1. It was a bad option. McGovern played off Cox and read it beautifully. Took the mark. He'll spread it to the far side of the grounds. The Eagles with the numbers. The mark taken by Waterman. Chips it towards right half back, diving to try and get it was Ainsworth. He's under pressure. Main hovering over the top, and the ball not going anywhere. No, pushing the back. It's going Collingwood's way. Everything's going Collingwood's way, and Main has it. 11 points. Collingwood's lead. 18 gone in this first term.
And they're playing electrifying football, the Magpies. Long kick deep. In that pack is Cox. Got hands to it too. Couldn't hang on. Crawling out of the pack was Elliott. He lost the football. Trying to pick it up, and there is Thomas. Rolls to Pendlebury. Pendlebury takes a snap. No, he doesn't. It was smothered in front of him. Ball ricochets across towards Duggan. Defiantly, he kicks the ball back outside 50, but Adams takes the mark, and he might get a penalty. 50-metre penalty.
So
He's telling the man on the ground, Adams is down. Who did the hitting?
Yeah, Allen, Oscar Allen. They've all run to him and just had a bit of a chat to him. It was just a slap to the face, maybe a little poke in the eye.
It's clumsy by Oscar. He didn't need to do it at all. And this is going to be a certain goal to Collingwood. They're going to have 4 straight in the opening quarter.
What's the crowd booing about, though? Did they not think that was a 50?
It was a 50 every day of the week, wasn't it?
Every day of the week. At least
Now they know. We've told them. So Adams, these hard doers for Collingwood, and they've got a few, are really doing it hard, playing hard, and he kicks the goal. So the challenge now is fairly and squarely with the West Coast Eagles. Collingwood at Optus Stadium, a 4 straight, and the West Coast Eagles, warm favourites in this one, a 1-1-7, so 24-7, and that's on the which scoreboard?
the Choice Hotel scoreboard.
That's my favourite.
It is. The Triple M Bosch Tools replay showing it again. Oscar Allen copping him high. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Good better Bosch.
Great start to the game by Collingwood. You just had a feeling pre-game that they were going to come with something. It's been an ambush so far. West Coast would have been preparing for Collingwood's best. They've certainly got it right now.
Yeah, they've surged ahead. The Pies now leading the inside 50s this quarter, 13-6. Pendlebury and Treloar have also got going. Pendles has 6, and Treloar now with 5 disposals for the Triple M Movember stats.
I tell you what, Tanya Armstrong knows her footy, Dan. She said they were going to come with an ambush, and she was exactly right. For Bob Jane T-Mart's Tan, you are the football guru.
Well, they had a good first quarter last time they met, so a long way to go in this one. But Taylor Adams came off after kicking that goal. He's been getting a bit of advice from Collingwood fans, just had a bit of a laugh. From Eagles fans, I should say, had a bit of a laugh on the bench.
So we're out of the middle, going the Pies' way again, attacking it to go. He couldn't pick it up, but Treloar does. Hand pass out towards the top of the attacking 50. Dacos on the end of it. Dacos' kick is a good one, right to the dangerous part of the ground. No mark taken, maybe a free kick. Here's Thomas, gets it to Main, to Greenwood. His kick was smothered. Ball's coming to the hands of Gaff. A few players slow to get up. Now it's with Hearn. Hearn in his defensive half of the ground kicks it up towards half back. It was fisted away by Noble over the line. Cox is slow to get up. He's got a little bit of blood coming out of the nose.
Yeah, Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Just a head clash between Mason Cox and Brad Shepherd from West Coast. Both players a little bit slow to get up.
Shep is very slow to get up. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Good better Bosch as we throw the ball back into play. It's 4 straight 24, plays 1-1-7. It's Collingwood in charge. We've gone 21 minutes as Kelly's trying to get it out of the congestion. There's a bit of a throw there. The umpire's seen it. And it will go West Coast way. Cripps on the wing. Dan will take the free kick.
Tim Kelly's been quiet too. There goes the Cripps kick down towards the 50. towards the pocket. Clever mark by a man who didn't leave the ground, Jack Darling. Now the man on the mark is about 45 metres out, and this will really test Darling. He's kicking from right half forward. Well, he's back at right half forward for the moment, and he'll run in and kick from just outside the 50, I would imagine. And the umpire indicating the man on the mark has got about 10 metres to run up, so Darling needs to be aware of that. Magin is just hands on knees and staying back at the moment. Now he and the umpire discussing where he can run. Darling, oblivious to all of that, we hope, comes in, has a shot at goal, not holding its line though, just drifts left to right and goes through for a minor score. So the West Coast Eagles are 1-2-8 and Collingwood are 4 straight 24. That's on the Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
The Pies come to this broadcast side. A good kick lands in the hands of Dacos, right half back. He's been pretty active, Beastie. Dacos.
Yes, he has 6 for him now as well, Lock.
He'll go short again. Another stat there. It's going to be a push against Shuey. They're getting a little frustrated. West Coast. Greenwood will take the free kick.
Greenwood doing a really good job at the moment. He's got the hard tag on Tim Kelly. Tim Kelly.
Oh, this is dangerous. He's kicked it across the face of goal. Sorry, Embers. And it's come off okay. Quayne has got it, and he'll kick it out towards the far side wing. Out in front is Main. He had it fisted away by McGovern over the line and out of bounds. Of course, Beast looking after the Triple M Movember stats. In Australia, men account for 3 out of every 4 suicides. Grow a Mo to save a bro. Go to Movember.com. The ball on the far side of the ground. It's 4 straight 24 Collingwood. West Coast 1-2-8.
Tossed in, Nat Nui reaches over the top, taps it down. Sheed goes after it. Ball in the pack, slow in coming out. Eventually Adams tries to dig it out. Nat Nui tries to soccer it off the ground. Back comes Adams. Crisp is in there as well. Third in Collingwood's best and fairest last season, Crisp. Underrated defender. You heard the whistle, so the umpire is giving them a lecture, and he's going to toss it up on the outer side. Right half forward for the West Coast Eagles, who could do with a late goal. They're inside the last minute of the turn, and they get a free kick. It's going to Nat Nui. Now, he's a long way out, but he can kick it halfway, I reckon, to the goals, and that would be about 35 metres from goal. Not his best effort. He pops it up. 2 Collingwood players go up, and they worked it out pretty well in midair. Crisp, the man I was talking about, takes the mark, plays on. Surrounded by teammates, hand passes to Williams, goes to Magin. You heard the umpire, not 15. Magin, plenty of time, kicks it out of the back pocket. The clock is running. Down towards quarter time. Waterman goes into a pack hard. Bowled over a couple. Comes to Dacos. Dacos, off his step, kicks it up towards the wing. Cox is feeling it. Up he went. Couldn't take the mark. Hearn gets the crumb. Hand passes to Gaff. Comes across to Barris. Disappointing opening turn for him. Kicks back towards half forward for the Eagles. Quayne goes in. Diving in is Adams. Good hand pass. Dacos, plenty of the football. Goes back after it. Siren sounds. And it's quarter time. The Magpies, the underdogs, lead 4 goals straight 24. The West Coast Eagles are 1-2-8 for McDonald's Triple M Rocks Footy.
It's corny, but it's Hot Pies at Optus Stadium. They lead it by 16 points. What a start to the game. They're 4 straight 24. The West Coast Eagles 1-2-8. Mason Cox with 3 goals. 3 in about 3 minutes, Andrew Embley. That was one heck of a show.
It was the difference, wasn't he? He was exciting, he was strutting, he was playing with confidence. Collingwood had the confidence to get the ball in the air to him, and he was not letting his teammates down. It was a fantastic quarter by Big Mason Cox, and on the back of that, 4 goals to 1, and the Pies have come to play. They've been outstanding, and they are a very good team, and if West Coast underrate them, then they will get hold of them like they have in that first quarter. At quarter time, I was just watching the West Coast doctor and medicos. They were in deep discussion. I think it was all around Brad Shepherd and the potential concussion that he might have at the moment. So just watching Shepherd, whether he starts on the ground, which would be pretty big because he's on Degoe at the moment. He's had the better of Degoe in that opening quarter, but if Shepherd has to come off, certainly allowed to go a little bit of space inside forward 50, and that may just be the matchup that Degoe might enjoy. But it looks like at the moment Shepherd may stay out on the ground, which is good news for the West Coast Eagles. The Eagles midfield are going to have to really start to tighten up and find some footy themselves. Luke Shuey, only the 1 touch. Greenwood doing an outstanding job on Tim Kelly. Kelly only the 1 touch. Dom Sheed yet to touch it. And On the other side, Pendlebury's been really good in the first quarter. He's had 3 clearances. Dacos has found the footy. Adams and Treloar and Crisp all finding football for the Pies. West Coast got to really tighten up in the contest in this second quarter if they are to get themselves back in this contest.
And just on the Triple M Boschels replay, Mason Cox early on in the game, a little bit of a shush to the crowds. So he's putting on his own little performance. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories, good, better Bosch. 4 straight 24 Collingwood. The West Coast Eagles.
It's a little early to be shushing the crowd, isn't it, Locke? I think he may have been fired up. He's probably watching the NBA Finals today.
Yeah.
Inspired by AD and LeBron, and he's come out, all hyped.
He's all fired up,
no doubt about that. We can see if he can maintain it, though, Locke. That's the thing.
Well, it's Collingwood by 16 points at the present time. The Eagles are 7 from 7 on this ground this season, so they're going to be tested here. And Cox getting some perfect service from down the ground. They were kicks that were just put above his head. They were soft kicks that he could get his hands to. And Barris couldn't stay off him on the lead. He was coming up. It wasn't a fast lead, but he was getting to the ball. And the kicking with precision coming in meant that he could mark it. And Barris couldn't get the run and a punch at it. It was just terrifically worked out by Collingwood. And Nathan Buckley, I'm sure. So the start of the second term then on a cold Perth night. And the Magpies building towards a surprise victory. They lead it by 16, just the one scoring shot for the West Coast Eagles. In fact, 3, but 2 of them behind. Kelly gets an early possession. That could be heartening and goes to the lead from Kennedy. Natanui to Kelly to Kennedy. Well, that takes you back to round 8. That was superb out of the centre.
West Coast, the best centre bounce clearance team in the competition in converting goals from those clearances, and that was just artwork. Good to see Kelly getting back into this second quarter. He was very slow in the first. A wonderful kick, and Kennedy was a bit quiet too. This will be big for his confidence. It'll be a great start by the Eagles.
Last time these two teams played, Kennedy booted 7 in the short format. In he comes. He's got his first of the night. Kennedy, how about that? Collingwood haven't touched the ball in the second term, and the West Coast Eagles get their second goal. 2-2-14. Collingwood 4 straight 24, and that's on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Bunnings trade made for the trade. Then
Adam Simpson would have certainly spoken to his midfield group at quarter time and asked them for a response. Got to start working harder both ways, start to get their hands on the football. And that Nick Natanui has started really well on Grundy. Certainly giving his midfielders first use at the moment, getting his hands on it. Grundy's going to have to really work hard and nullify the influence that Nick Natanui has on this game, especially at these centre bounces.
Yeah, Tan called it earlier with the fast cut starts for Collingwood. Their best quarter was the first quarter this year, 10-5 in those runs and 2 draws. But their worst quarter was the second, so we'll see how they hold up here. A quick start from the Eagles on the Triple M Movember stats.
A little bit of pushing and shoving between Adams and Sheet. Umpire comes in just to settle them down. They go back at it again. As we await the bounce, still pushing each other. Natanui against Grundy. Natanui just got hands to it, then fell to ground. Here's Sheed. Tried to get the hand pass away, caught in a tackle, ball not going anywhere. A couple of metres away from the centre circle, and another ball up. So 10 points, the Collingwood lead. 2 minutes gone in the second term. And we'll throw it back into the air. The tap towards the half-forward line of West Coast, but the kick was smothered off Maynard's boots. Sheed went in a little tough on Adams. Adams in a little bit of trouble, although Sheed just stole it out of his hands. And holding the ball, said the umpire, well, Adams actually didn't have it. Sheed took it out of his hands. And I think Adams has a fair case there. So Natanui will take the free kick as he was the second tackler. The kick inside attacking 50. Fisted away. Maynard under pressure. Gives away the hand pass to Crisp. Has to bend down. He's against 3. Just got the kick away. It'll bounce in the direction of Cripps. Running backwards, gathers. Gives it to Duggan. Duggan's kick inside attacking 50. Grundy was there. Couldn't take the mark. There'll be a free kick. A little bit of dragging down. Chopping of the arm. And Grundy will take the free in the goal square. Defensive side of the ground. 10 points to margin.
Liam Ryan has just got Maynard in another beautiful shirt front. Like the 2018 Grand Final, he lined Maynard up, and Maynard really slow to get up from that contest.
Collingwood with the ball in the back pocket then. Little kick across the goal front from Moore to the opposite pocket. This is on the northern side of the ground now. Magin Back against the fence, looking towards players gathering beyond the 50-metre arc, and he kicks it in that direction. In from the side, Myercheck, slapped away by Natanui, taken by Duggan. He's attracted the ball so much tonight. Shuey kicks into a man coming at him, goes back and gets it, then loses it. Stevenson grabs it. Tentative kick down towards half forward. Wonderful, courageous mark by Myercheck, running at the pack. Took the mark, lays it off Treloar. Pinpoint to centre half forward. Hoskin Elliott to Adams. Oh, brilliant football, Collingwood. Dacos takes the mark. Is this a pass too many? Yes, it is. Barris got there, closed it down. The pass was intended for Elliott, but then a high tackle by Hearn on Noble gives Collingwood a reprieve. Wonderful football in the build-up. Great stuff down there in defence by Barris. And now Noble still could punish the West Coast Eagles.
So brave by Barris. I mean, his opponents kicked 3 goals in the first quarter. He ran off him to make sure he got to the spoil.
Did well, Barris. You said it really well there, Lockie. Barris has gone back to Mason Cox to start this quarter and did the team thing, but Collingwood still got the shot on goal.
Noble, a talented player, get the feeling this is an important kick. It looks pretty good. Oh, what a kick by Noble. And what a kick in the stomach as far as the West Coast Eagles are concerned. They got the quick goal at one end and back come Collingwood, but the build-up was really something. Collingwood get their 5th goal and the West Coast Eagles are 2-2, and that's on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard. Bunnings Trade, made for the trade.
Good response by the Pies and just really good ball movement, able to control the footy. Myercheck coming back with a fly to the footy in front of us was just outstanding. These are the big moments in finals where you got to stand up when it's your turn to put your body on the line. He came back, he took an amazing contested mark, terrific courage, and then prepared to move it quickly. They're a high handballing team, the Pies. They move it really fast inside forward 50. And Noble was a really classy finish.
The thoughts of Andrew Embley. Seabus Super looking after him this evening. A super fund you can trust. Embers, of course, 2006 Norm Smith medalist. And it's finals time in the AFL 2020. 5 straight 30 Collingwood. The Eagles 2-2-14. Allen doing the ruck work for the West Coast Eagles on this occasion. Cameron in there as well for Collingwood. The kick away from Allen goes through the hands of a couple of players. Archie gathers, runs into trouble, but just got the hand pass away to Kelly. Bombs it inside, attacking 50. Kennedy on the chest. Takes a great mark. Outbodies his opponent. Ryan goes in just to stir a little bit of trouble. But Kennedy will go back from 20 metres out, maybe even closer.
Go forward, Jordan.
So it was 1-on-1 against Roughhead. Kennedy's got 2. Listen to the roar. We're back to 10 points. And there's a lot of feeling in this game. More push and shove down in the goal square. It's finals time, Andrew Embley.
It's Maynard and Ryan just going at each other again. They've got a bit of history, those two. As I said just before, Ryan lined him up. Maynard didn't like it. He's tough, Maynard. You just love to have both of those players in your side. But just watch Kennedy's body work on Roughhead. He works really hard, Kennedy, to be able to get that body on, uses his weight, pushes him out the way. Too strong in the contest. Roughhead slipped over. Once you slip over, you're gone. Kennedy, another response by the Eagles.
Yeah, good start for the Eagles. 3 inside 50s to 1 on the Triple M Movember stats in this second quarter.
What a round of football too. The final round, the beginning of the finals. Outstanding stuff. Pendlebury going across and chesting Cripps. No damage done, but the skirmish at the top of the goal square, that's cooled off now. We're back in the centre. 5 goals straight to 3-2. Collingwood on top and a very good bounce again. That's been a strength of the umpires tonight. The goey, really a touch goes in. Tackle by Shuey. Kept the ball in his possession. Maybe it was held to him and the umpire decides he'll toss it up just outside the outer circle. Slightly, West Coast way. Opportunity for Pendlebury. Slick hand pass. Got it to Treloar. Treloar sends it down towards right half forward. Myercheck working in front. Got hands to it. Couldn't take the mark. Ricochets to Allen. Allen, the youngster, runs through midfield. Hand passes to Archie. Just manages to get the kick off. Ryan comes up, takes the mark, and shows it to Maynard if you don't mind. Well, it's a long night. He better be careful. Long ball down towards the pocket meantime. Darling fights off a would-be tackler. Wins the ball on the ground. Hand passes across to support. and the snap goes through for the West Coast Eagle, and it's Ainsworth who got the goal. What a good effort down there. Certainly by the quick kick in, despite showing the ball to his opponent, Ryan kicked it in quickly, just kept on the move, and Ainsworth the beneficiary behind the pack.
Well, some say Ainsworth may have been a little bit lucky to keep his spot in this West Coast team, but he kicks a goal, and it's an important goal too. Again, just love the way the game is getting played at the moment. It's quick ball movement, both sides taking the game on, both sides looking really dangerous inside forward 50. Ryan just wants to move it and move it quickly, and Ainsworth just want to get right place, right time where he was.
Oh, look at that. A little bit of showtime from Liam Ryan. Just showed the ball to Maynard after the mark on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Good bit of Bosch and a good finish from Braden Ainsworth.
Jack Darling really good in that contest. He was really strong.
10 on the boundary, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, well, the fans might like it from the West Coast Eagles, but I'm not sure Adam Simpson liked it. He was handed the phone straight away as soon as he sat down, Liam Ryan. So a few words of advice about showing the footy to Maynard.
Yeah, early in the game too. 10, so you've got to be a little careful. Shuey out of the middle, kicks it up towards right half forward. Hovering is Crisp. Grabbed hold of by Kelly. Ball comes to ground. Well done, Grundy. Just got the hand pass away. And it was a little rough from Shuey. Gives away the free kick advantage. Play on to Goey. Skimmer inside attacking. 50 off. Flying through was McGovern. Couldn't pick up the footy. Barris is there. Pressure is hot. Cole. It was a good kick at the end. It was a wobbler. But he found his target in Waterman at right half back. What a game. 10 minutes remaining in the second term. And it's 5 straight 30 Collingwood, 4-2-26 the West Coast Eagles. The kick along the wing. No one can take the mark. Oh, Kelly, great gather. Hand passes to the speed of Petruccelli. He on balls it towards Cripps. Maynard's got some pace as well. Cripps gets the kick away. It's going to be a free kick downfield, is it?
Yep.
Or is it coming back? So Maynard dived at him, got him, and he's coming off with a bit of an injury as well, but the kick is going to go downfield, Embers, into the pockets.
Maynard's come off with a dislocated finger, and just as he pushed, and this is Ainsworth, right side for a left footer. He's a left footer, probably the perfect person in this West Coast forward line to take this kick from this angle. He'll run around and snap it.
Already kicked the goal, the young fella. Snaps it round the corner. No, he hasn't snapped it enough. He's actually kicked it across the face of goal. And Darling's taken the mark, but it's gone out of bounds on the full. Dramatic stuff. Moore will take it in the right back pocket. It's a 4-point margin. The Pies lead it here in the West.
And it's a beauty. Moore drives it out of defence. Holding his ground was Main, leads back in the race, let the ball drop behind he and his opponent. Now it goes out of bounds after a skirmish there. Waterman coming in. And it will be thrown in.
Darling was calling for the replay there too on that one. Someone's been watching a bit too much NBA too.
Could you imagine? That would go down as an effective kick, wouldn't it? A boundary throw in. Missed everything. Still he got an earlier goal that was very important. Tapped down by Nat Nui. Sheet, a hurried kick, virtually scuffed at about 15 metres. Madgen, a hand pass to Crisp. He stops, and he's tackled by the second man who arrived. He beat the first, but not Archie. Archie got him down. And has got a free kick right on the 50 where it meets the boundary, so a long way out. Immediately kicks in the direction of Darling. Was he interfered with? Tried to make it look so, but not the case. The mark has been taken by Madgen in that pack.
Clearance is 5-1 in this quarter in favour of the West Coast Eagles. Nat Nui getting his hands on the footy. The Eagles midfielders are lifting.
Madgen kicks it up towards the wing. Socket off the ground by De Goey to his own advantage. Runs after the footy. Gets it. Hand passes into the path of Elliott. He got a fickle bounce, Elliott. Pursued there by Nelson, and the crowd wanting deliberate. Well, I think they're citing McGovern.
Yeah.
There was a precedent tonight, which wasn't as bad as that one, but that sounds like a home story, but it's true.
Ball to be thrown back into play. 4 points still the margin. We'll keep an eye on Myercheck. Might have just rolled his ankle as the ball was thrown back in, and some tackles late. 10 on the boundary for Bob Jane T-Marts. Myercheck just seemed to be slow to getting up.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on him. Braden Maynard, he's had his left finger strapped. He came off with a dislocated finger. He's ready to come back on the ground. So very good defender for Collingwood. Unlucky not to be an All-Australian this year.
Here's Chris. He kicks inside attacking 50. Nelson right on Elliott to make sure he can't take the mark. They force it over the boundary line. 45 around from Collingwood's goal.
Just extending on what Ember said too. Centre-bounce clearances 3-0 in favour of West Coast on the Triple M Movember stats in this quarter.
Ball thrown back in. 45 out from goal. Grundy fell over. Bounced over the top of Shuey's head. Gathered by Sheed. He kicks it out towards the wing. The mark taken by Stevenson. He runs and carries and then bombs it inside attacking 50. The pack will form. Cox was the man in front. Couldn't take the mark. Ball is loose and a good tackle laid was by Cameron. And he brings the player to ground. We'll ball it up about 10 metres out from Collingwood's goal. They lead it at the moment, Dan, by 4 points. We've travelled 14 minutes in this second term.
Yeah, it's a good game of football. Nat Nui's in front, reaching over the top. Grundy perhaps knocked at Goldwood. Now a strong tackle. Gets Shuey down. It rolls back towards Nat Nui. And there's going to be a holding the ball call on Shuey, who's lying flat on his back, and Collingwood will get this free about 20 metres out from goal. Hard to see what was going on in the pack simply because so many were around the football. Well, he took on the tackler, and that's fair enough. Elliott's getting a free kick and should kick a goal here. Jamie Elliott, a young man we've watched grow up. He started when he was 18. And here he is with a chance to kick a very important goal for his side. He's now 28. 5 times he's kicked 5 goals in a game. Wouldn't they love that tonight? I said earlier, their average this season has just been 8 goals. They're on 4 at the moment. He could put them on 10 pace. In he comes. Has he kicked it? Yes, he has. They get their 5th goal early in the second term. And they lead by 4 points. The West Coast Eagles 4-2-26, or rather their 6th goal. 6 goals straight, 36 to 4-2-26.
Brilliant game of football, and the Pies, just their pressure at the moment's been really good. Triple M Boschtal's replay, just having a look at that free kick given, and Luke Shuey just trying to take the tackler on. Just had to get it on the boot, get it out of the defensive 50, because Collingwood had numbers around it, and it was a wonderful tackle. Good goal by Elliott.
The Monopoly game at Macca's is making winners. Download the app now and get a free chest opening the next day for your chance to win amazing prices for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy, and it's now out to a 10-point margin again. So the Pies started the best. 3 goals straight from Cox. Got them off to an absolute fly-up. They led by 16 at quarter time, and it's 10 right now, 16 gone in this second term. It's been a beauty. 7 minutes remaining. And the 2-star ruckmans will go at it again. Nat Nui and Grundy. Grundy tried to run straight into Nat Nui. Ball comes out towards Dacos. He's caught in a tackle by Shuey. Well done, Treloar. Gathered it beautifully. Taking on the tackler, Greenwood. Gave it towards Pendlebury. He lost control. It will come back out through Treloar to Greenwood. He kicks inside attacking 50. The pack will form. Cox is there. Couldn't take the mark. Cole as well. Was he dragged off the footy? I think he was. Cole will take the free in the right back pocket. Free kicks piece for the Movember stats.
For the game, like you're talking, 7-9 in the favour of Collingwood.
Okay. His short pass is a good one to the right back pocket. Nelson's taken the grab. Still 10 points to margin. 6.5 remaining in this second term. Short pass to Shepherd, who's been a little quiet, but he's got the big job on DeGoey and also Dacos. He's forced to kick it along the line up towards the wing. Darling is there, so too Ryan. Jumped just a little early, brought it down but couldn't hold on. Good smuller from Shuey. Comes out towards Ryan, nears Archie. It bounced off his leg though, came into the hands of Greenwood to Pendlebury. Missed his target, goes back to get it again in the middle of the ground. Can he be caught? No, there's plenty of players hovering around. The umpire is as well. And no one really had hold of the footy, so no decision made. We'll ball it up just forward of the centre circles. It's Collingwood by 10 points. Nearly 18 minutes gone in this second term.
About 6 to play in the term. Hacked forward by Shuey. Still inside the centre square. Marked by Darling. Darling turns around and delivers to Kennedy. Kennedy's marked 55 metres out. Ryan is rushing back towards the goal square, but he goes short, Kennedy, and finds Cripps. Cripps, a proven goal kicker. is about 35 metres out. At least the man on the mark is. That's Noble. He's between the Telstra mark, the logo, and the boundary.
Hard running Cripps. He's nice and fresh at the moment. And he works up the ground, pushes hard inside forward 50.
Not the easiest kick for a right footer, and he comes and will go right to left. And this one is moving across the face of goal and harmlessly goes through for a behind, unless, of course, that is the winning behind. 4-3-27 to 6 straight 36. Approaching half-time and what's been a bottler of a game so far. Maynard drives it out of defence in front. Cameron will get a free kick.
He will against Oscar Allen. So Cameron, left half back, has the footy. He'll just kick it long up towards the wing. Just holds up a touch as Cole flies through. And it did seem to hold up and he just misjudged it. Nearly took an absolute ripper. He was trying to copy Liam Ryan. And we'll have a ball up tight to the boundary near the dugout. Allen and Cameron. Both boys holding on to each other. Here's Adams. Treloar goes backwards by hand to Noble, and then Noble spirals one up towards half forward. Well done by Waterman. Took the mark, wants to play on quickly. Cheese running hard for him. The kick was perfect. Onto his chest. Ryan also working hard on the far side of the ground. Maynard there to fist it away. Well played by Maynard. Brings it to ground. Ryan, though, quick to get up. Tried to paddle to his own advantage. Stevenson was there to try and help out. His kick up towards the wing, again marked by Waterman. The kick is a little long, and this could be really costly. Gathered by Adams. Hand pass is good. Treloar. Here's one further afield to Myercheck on the edge of the centre square. Chips it inside 50. Oh, that was nervous. The ball was into the hands of Thomas. And it came out, it wasn't paid the mark. The Eagles will run away. Duggan with a 1-2. Kicks towards the wing to Oscar Allen. Embers will explain it in a moment as Oscar Allen has it. Goes short to Duggan again. He'll kick it further afield. They keep it moving on the far side of the ground, the Eagles. This is Redden. He'll chip it towards the boundary, and Gaff has it.
If there's a replay coming up, Collingwood fans, look away now. Explain it, Embers.
Oh, Collingwood really stiff. Thomas inside forward 50. McGovern came really late. Looked like he almost tackled Thomas in that marking contest.
Ryan drives the ball inside the forward 50. Big pack at the drop, goes behind, and just letting it go out of bounds is Maynard, and it's getting personal between Maynard and Ryan.
So here it is, Dan. Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Yeah, surely that was a free kick.
You would think so.
And he was about 45 out from goal too.
Yeah, high stiff.
I mentioned that? Probably not.
Boundary throw in. Cameron knocks it down. Hoskin Elliott hand passes to Maynard. Maynard kicks it out towards left half back. Racing after it, Noble. Hand passes to Main. Couple of fumbles there close to the boundary line. Confronted by Archie. Gives it to Madgen. And Madgen runs out of bounds. And after a decision that was made in the first term, the crowd are hungry for deliberately going out of bounds. Doesn't matter if there's a tractor coming at you. You better stay on the ground.
There's going to be a ride if they don't pay one. So it's now a 9-point margin. The throw in, gathered by Adams, goes back by hand to Main, just waits for it to bounce into his hands, gives it to Treloar, kicks round the corner. Sheed read it best, couldn't take the mark. Noble did well, found Thomas. They're out now, 2 against 1. The kick from Thomas was good. Hoskin Elliott just waits, lobs one over the top to Stevenson. Coxie says, kick it to me in the goal square. Stevenson said, I'm going further than that. I'm sending it towards goal. And he's missed to the right-hand sides. Through for a minor score, their first blemish of the game. Collingwood 6-1-37, the Eagles 4-3-27, 22 gone. That is on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Byrne comes in, kicks it to the outer side. Shepherd's the target, takes the mark. Powerful kick too towards that outer side. In fact, it was Barris who kicked it in. He's got a lot of purchase on that ball. Short one comes back, inboard, taken by Sheed. Right on the numbers there, the 50 in defence. Sends it back towards the wing. It's a high ball. Kennedy on a long lead. He's up on the wing in the present moment. Spills off hands, taken by Madgen. Gets a hand pass to Stevenson. He kicks it down towards the forward 50. Slapped away by Cox, but he's outnumbered on the ground. A little 1-2 between Sheed and Barris. Sheed's got the football. Threads a hand pass across towards a teammate. Driven towards the outer side by Shepherd. Strong mark is taken by Allen. Hit the ground running, moving at least. The umpire, I thought, called play on. Well, it didn't seem so because the man on the mark, Grundy, didn't move. Short one from Allen to Nat Nui. Allen gets back a hand pass, kicks it down towards the 50. Gaff has the ball, looking for a 50, nothing there. Gaff plays on wide of Treloar, kicks it down towards the forward, and what a mark by Jack Darling. What a terrific mark. Jack Darling, in the midst of 3 Collingwood defenders, has hauled it in. As good a pack mark as you will see tonight. Don't worry about that. It is ground in front of him. He came to it with real determination and hung on. Can he kick the goal? Should. He's kicking from about 25. A mere formality. Darling gets the 5th goal for the West Coast Eagles. They're 5-3, and the Magpies are 6-1. They're closing the gap. The Eagles are coming back in a thrilling second term.
Yeah, 7 disposals now for Darling, 4 marks to go with 2 goals, 1 and 5 scoring involvements on the Triple M Movember stats.
1 in 6 Aussie men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer by 85. Grow a Mo to save a bro. Go to movember.com.au. Embers?
Caught it really well, Dennis. Maynard
He always
in that
does.
marking contest. Not surprised
You don't even
at
have to
all.
say that about him.
Maynard, Greenwood and Crisp versus Jack Darling. And Darling just got a run and a jump at it. And when he's confident in the air like that, Jack Darling is unstoppable. We saw Mason Cox in the first quarter. Darling has been big in this final so far too.
10 on the boundary. Bob Jane T-Marts buy 3, get 1 free on selected performance tyres. Bridgestone and Yokohama. bobjane.com.au. Electric atmosphere, Tan. This is amazing.
Yeah, the West Coast Eagles fans are greatly outnumber Collingwood, as you'd expect, and they are willing the Eagles to get over the top of Collingwood before halftime.
4 points to margin. The Pies lead it, closing in on half-time. Grundy gets the tap. Nat Nui tries to follow it up, then kicks it from mid-air. Inside attacking 50. Pack forms. No one can take the mark. Noble under pressure. Does he get it away? No, he doesn't. Caught holding the ball.
That was quick.
It was hot, no doubt about that. It came into his hand, shrugged off one tackle, and then was thrown to the turf.
Kennedy knocked it out, didn't he?
Yes.
Big JK. Just, you love your big tall forwards, and that's what West Coast tall forwards do. They put pressure on. Darling inside forward 50. Kennedy, we know that he loves to run and chase and tackle, and he gets rewarded with that effort, and now he gets a lick of the ice cream.
So he'll kick from 50, Embers, right in front. Cox will stand the mark. He's clapping him. And Josh Kennedy sends it on its way from 50, and it'll go through for a minor score right on the siren. Big elimination final here at Optus Stadium, and it's really, really tight. 3 points is the margin. The Magpies 6-1-37, the Eagles 5-4-34. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Well, the West Coast Eagles taking their time to run out onto the ground. They're only just on the ground. The Pies have been out for several minutes, and we're not too far away from the second half starting. It's the Magpies 6-1-37, and the Eagles are 5-4-34. 3 points to margin. It was 16 at quarter time, and Embers, we're ready to go. It's a little chilly outside, but that shouldn't affect the footy. It's going to be a beauty of a second half.
It's fresh, isn't it? But at the moment, we're watching a really good game of football. Been very privileged this weekend. We've seen 3 crackers so far, and tonight's game has certainly not disappointed. It's for mine this second half, Brodie Grundy really needs to stand up. I think he's been well beaten by Nick Natanui again tonight, and I just feel like he's got to really crash in. He's not finding any footy around the ground. He's not going for his marks. He needs to take the game on, because at the moment, Nick Natanui is really starting to dominate the contest. He's getting his hands on the footy, and he's given West Coast midfielders first use. Pies at the moment, they're backing themselves in, but I think if Grundy can start to really body Nick Natanui up, start to nullify his influence on the game, it's going to be really help the Pies in the second half.
Well, the West Coast Eagles have won 5 of their last 6 against Collingwood, and that loss was by only a point, round 17 on this ground last year. Do you think the West Coast Eagles will win? Is that how you feel, Embers?
Oh, you felt like in the second quarter the Eagles were starting to get the game played on their terms. They were starting to win some footy, so I'm certainly not saying that West Coast are looking the most likely team at the moment, but just there were signs in that second quarter that were just starting to get on top.
IGA Liquor have got you covered during this final series. Get your favourite beer, wine and spirits. Head to igaliquor.com.au to find your nearest store. Plus recipes, inspiration and promotions. IGA Liquor, proudly independent. The quarantine world's an interesting one, Den. The TV boys obviously can't go out onto the ground to do the interviews with the players and coaches. So Big Baz, he's standing in the stands.
Yes.
And he's talking to Nathan Buckley, who's down on the ground. So weird, isn't it?
Well, I think he's asking him if he's eligible to vote.
How is his mayor campaign going, do you think? For those listening in the east, Basil is going for Perth mayor.
That's
as if
right,
he
he
isn't
is.
busy enough. He's on radio, TV. Now he wants to be the mayor.
That's right. Yeah, no, I think it's going okay. His shoes look
Are
dirtier
you
and
part
dustier.
of the campaign? Or
Certainly not.
No, you wouldn't put yourself up like
We
that.
don't talk
would you?
about those sort of things on the radio, of course, do we? That's going down a path we don't want to go on.
That's
He
right.
expects my vote. That's
does.
all I'm going to say.
Okay, no guarantee you'll give it though. 3 points is the margin. We're not too far away from getting this second half underway. It's Collingwood leading by 3. Can they hold on? That's the big question. Here's Dennis Cometti.
They led by 16 at quarter time. It's been a cracker of a game. We expected it to be very good, and it's certainly lived up to its billing. Very cold night. Cold breeze coming across the ground. Matt Nui's in the centre. Cameron will start for Collingwood. And we're away. Third term. Game very much in the balance. Collingwood by 3 points. Nat Nui up and about. Cameron with the run at him though. Cameron wins the tap. Nat Nui ran under the ball. It spills wide on the outer side. Taken by Shuey. Grabs it on the line of the square. Kicks it down towards half forward for the Eagles. Archie charges into a pack. Got a hand pass to Ryan. To Cripps. Quick kick. Oh, and a good mark. Oscar Allen steps around his opponent Madgen and marks about 10 metres out. Directly in front. And this will be for the lead.
So Darcy Cameron starting in the ruck. Brody Grundy on the bench to start this third quarter. And again, another centre bounce clearance. They go forward, the Eagles. We know how good they are at that area of the game. And Oscar Allen, this kid's going to be a star.
And he comes then. The Eagles the best in the competition when they win the ball out of the centre. And converting, and they convert right here. It ends in a goal. It usually does when they get clean clearance. So the West Coast Eagles in front for the first time in this game. They lead 6-4-40. Collingwood is 6-1-37. It's been a terrific game so far, and you would fully expect the Magpies to come storming back.
So Mason Cox has just run all the way from full forward to Darcy Cameron saying, come on, mate, you've got this. So Nathan Buckley has thrown Darcy Cameron a big role, big opportunity to start this third quarter up against Nick Natanui, who was really starting to get on top in that second quarter. Nick Nat, centre bounce clearance is what West Coast do really well. Big one coming up right now.
It certainly is. 3 points now, the margin in favour of the West Coast Eagles on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor proudly independent. And once again, the long wait continues. West Coast the first time since the 8-minute mark of the first quarter when they've been in front. They started with a behind and then a goal, and then it's been Collingwood ever since. And there's a shot on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories, good better Bosch, of Brody Grundy just watching on as there's a push off the ball. The umpire has seen it. No, it's an awkward bounce. So we'll have another crack at it. Levi Greenwood was quick to come into the centre square because he's tagging Kelly. He's been told to get back inside his attacking 50. The tap down, Nat Nui to himself. Couldn't grab it the second time. Elliott did really well. Spun around and kicked it out towards left half forward. Dacos should be there first. Paddles it out towards De Goey. It's towards the boundary. But De Goey was the man he wanted to get it for two. And we'll throw it in 55 around from Collingwood's goal.
Something to look out for is the Pies only averaged 27 points this season in their second halves, which is only ranked 15th in the AFL, so they need to be on top of it on the Triple M Movember stats.
The tap down from Nat Nui to Kelly to Redden. Went back towards Kelly, couldn't trap it. Nat Nui helped him out to Redden, to Shuey. There's all the big names. He kicks it along the line, but cut off by Moore, another big name in footy, but he's not an Eagle, he's a Pie. He kicks inside attacking 50, and a terrific mark from Brad Shepherd's. 50 out from his defensive goal, and he goes short as the Eagles lead it by 3 minutes gone.
Shuey kicks it short of the wing, and the mark has been taken out there by Darling, a long way from home. He's been a dangerous forward for the West Coast Eagles tonight. He's the defensive side of right centre wing. Not much movement down there. It's like kick the kick. He'll just kick it down towards half forward. Nat Nui's in that pack from the side. Allen almost the mark though. Gaff runs through. Could have been legged. Ball spilt out. Gaff just sitting by there, looking back at the football over his right shoulder as they battle for it. No one was going to get it. The umpire tosses it up immediately. Tapped down by Cameron. Taken in that pack by Adams. Kicks it out towards the wing. Charging up to Goey. Unsighted tonight so far. Picked up by Dacos. Hand pass across to Pendlebury. A little balk. Now he kicks it down towards half forward. And up comes Cox. Takes the mark on his chest. Plays on. De Goey's run on. Is inside the 50 to Goey. Sends it down towards full forward. Oh, great shepherding on the line down there by Myercheck. Or is it Hoskin Elliott? Hoskin Elliott did the business in the goal square, and it's bounced through for a goal. De Goey strikes, and that could get them moving. The West Coast Eagles surrender the lead now. Collingwood 7-1-43, West Coast 6-4-40.
Mason Cox again presenting on Barris. The big guns starting to get involved for the Pies, and De Goey hasn't had many opportunities in the first half. Shepherd's had the better of him, but he's a match winner, and just a goal like that to De Goey just gives him huge confidence, and Collingwood respond.
They certainly do. There's Embers for Seabus Super, a super fund you can trust. There's a terrific play by De Goey. The left footer went about 45 metres, and great shepherding, as Dan said, on the goal line. Hoskin Elliott. So De Goey comes into the middle. He wants another piece of the action. McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. And it's the Pies by 3. A big breath from the umpire as he bounces away. It's a beautiful one. Nat Nui up, but Grundy got the hands to it, falling to the ground. Awkwardly was Gaff. Somehow it landed in the hands of Redden, and then the kick further afield to Ryan. Hand passes to the feet of Cripps. Doesn't matter. Cripper picks it up and goes. 45 out. That was brilliant. The new dad with the perfect finish. No rocking of the baby though. He hasn't had a chance. Everyone swamped him.
One thing we know from that, he won't drop the baby. That was magnificent, wasn't it? Superb.
Great pick-up, wasn't it?
Yeah, near his ankles.
Don't want to harp on it, but the centre bounce clearances at the moment, and just West Coast's ability just to be able to get the game going their way. Nick Nat loses the tap, but his second effort, and he's as good as anyone in the competition with those follow-up efforts, and he wins another clearance. We'll get his clearances soon, but he's had 6 or 7 already, and again, West Coast go forward. Cripps outstanding. Great pick-up, great finish.
Yeah, 7 clearances for Nick Nat. Embers just to follow that up for the Triple M Movember stats, and they also leave those centre bounce clearances 9-5 in favour of West Coast.
6 men take their own lives every day. Grow a mo to save a bro. Go to Movember.com.
46 plays 43. Eagles back in front. Long way to go. There's the bounce and a good one. Nat Nui taps it down delicately. Got it to a man who was immediately tackled. Pendlebury applied the tackle, and the umpire will do the business again. Redden had the football, but it was no prize. It was going nowhere. Nat Nui beaten this time by Grundy. What a duel it's been tonight. Nat Nui goes after it, slaps it forward. Grundy on the other end of it, though. How did he get there? Quaynard grabs a loose football. Hand passes to Noble. Noble kicks it down towards half forward. Up goes Hoskin Elliott. Knocked away a couple of times by Hearn. Back comes Hoskin Elliott. Slips a hand pass to Main. Former Docker in trouble. Goes a revolution. Gets a hand pass off. Now it's with Noble. Dragged down. Gets the kick away. Well played by Myercheck. Very competitive. It seemed headed for the chest of McGovern. McGovern finished up with it anyway. Now he kicks it short. Ainsworth goes wide. Waterman to space. Darling is storming up the ground. That's how we'll remember this man when his career is over. Full-chested, charging at a football. Sends it down towards half forward. We won't remember him for that kick, and the ball rolls out of bounds. My voice carries, you know that.
Too much pressure down. 3 points, the Eagles lead. 12 minutes remaining in this quarter. Ball thrown back into play. Right half forward for the Eagles. Well done, Grundy. Great tap down to Pendlebury. Mr. Reliable slaps it on the boot. Up towards half back. Great mark.
What a mark.
Terrific grab, McGovern. Good to see him playing footy. Did the hamstring. Worked his butt off to get back into the team for this final. And he's been solid. as he has it at right half back. He'll chip it towards the pocket. Shepherd will take the grab. Well, they switch play. They like to do this, Embers, although they're going to be forced to go down the line. He kicks it a long way. Attacking it was Darling. He fisted it 30 metres further afield and out of bounds. And we'll throw it back in pretty much where Shepherd kicked it from. Far side of the ground. 7-4-46 the West Coast Eagles. Collingwood 7-1-43. 8, nearly 9 minutes have ticked over in this third term.
Boundary throw in on the outer side. Ball comes to the back of the pack. Socket off the ground there. Eventually sent forward towards the half-forward flank. Getting back first is McGovern, though. McGovern a hand passes Collingwood attack. Back it goes to Barris. Barris kicks it towards the outer side. Shepherd was up in front, claiming a mark, and there was Grundy, nothing doing. Gaff heard a voice, grabbed the footy, hand pass behind himself. He wasn't looking. Cruising past was Redden, but it was over his head, and it goes out of bounds. Certainly not deliberate, but Gaff missed the target. McGovern breathing heavily. Down there, you can see him. He's got his hands on his knees. Boundary throw in meantime where the action is. Well done by Allen. Hand passes to the back of the pack and Cripps. Drives it inside the forward 50. Punched away down there by Rufford. He's got to get a free kick. Being held on to by Kennedy. Kennedy went to ground and he was reaching up holding the defender. And he's got the free.
Oh, it was too, Embers.
Yeah,
on
it
the
was.
Bostil's replay.
Brody Grundy's got a lift at the moment. He, in that last boundary throwing, just got pushed out the way by Oscar Allen. Nick Nat's off the ground at the moment. He's really got to stand up now.
Scramble on the outer side. Treloar over the football to Greenwood. Greenwood a hand pass back. Gives it to Crisp. Crisp goes around the outer side. Low ball. Myercheck is in there. Well done by McGovern. Gaff and now Redden back to Gaff. Gaff is confronted and casually kicks it about 30 metres in the wrong direction, but straight onto the chest of a teammate.
He has it far side, Tom Cole. Forced again to go down the line. They can't switch the play, the Eagles. They like to do it and move it quickly. Packs form, ball fisted away by Moore over the boundary line. That's a bit of a problem for him. Collingwood have done a really good job forcing him down the line.
Done a really good job. We know West Coast like to kick mark. They like to control the game. At the moment, what the Pies are doing, they're setting up, they're zoning really well, and they're forcing West Coast long to this contest.
Ball thrown in. No one can trap it. Treloar picks up the crumbs and runs away. He can have a bounce along the wing. Wants to lob a hand pass, decides to kick in the end. He up towards half-forward. McGovern back with the flight. Forced a contest. Comes to Thomas, though. His hand pass. Hoskin Elliott has a fumble. Has a second fumble. Gathers. Kicks towards goal, and he's missed to the left-hand side. He'd be disappointed with that. He's a really talented player.
And that's what happens.
Really got a goal. 7-4-46 the Eagles. The Magpies 7-2-44, Embers.
When you just fumble the ball a couple of times, you lack composure. And that's exactly what happened. 2 fumbles, quickly rushed it, missed the one he should have kicked.
Yeah, that was a bad miss. Redden takes a short pass coming out, kicks it wide, taken on the outer side and driven forward by Hearn. Ryan, hand passes to Sheed, slips a hand pass away to Oscar Allen. On the burst going past his Gaff, tries to pinpoint the ball to Darling, and sensing the danger, Crisp was magnificent. Like a soccer goalie going to the top right-hand corner. He darted across and took the mark, and just as well. Darling was within scoring range. Went short and now Main's got it. Main from right half back. Looking up towards the wing, it's a high ball. Myercheck got into the back of Waterman. Play on's the court, fair enough. Grabbed by Greenwood, standing in front of the pack. High floater, off at his want. He's not the best kick in the world, Greenwood, but a hard worker, and now the ball is escorted across the boundary line by Shepherd. An appeal comes from De Goey, and the umpire says out, but not out, if you understand. Boundary thrown, 7-4-7-2.
2 points, the West Coast lead. We're in the forward half of the ground, though, for Collingwood. Ball thrown back into play, right half forward. Grundy, the man in front. Nat Nui just back on the ground. Taps it towards the boundary line. Pendlebury there. And as he kept it in, no, he decides to feign the kick and then just walk back over the boundary line. We'll throw it back in. You can't give away a free kick when it's Scott Pendlebury, please.
No, you can't.
You couldn't do it to
what
the
a
great
player.
man.
What a player he's been.
Ball thrown in. Ruckman push each other over. Tap is in the direction of Archie. Gathers by hand to Shuey and now Sheed. And Sheed on the left. Will bomb it inside, attacking 50. Moore outpointed Darling. Did really well. Brought it to ground. Gave away the hand pass. Well done by Madgen. He kicks it along the line. McGovern's there. Has to come from behind to fist it. Elliott grabs hold of it. Good tackle, Nelson. Brings him to ground. Ball comes loose. Myercheck to De Goey. De Goey's kick inside, attacking 50. And the mark's taken. Hoskin Elliott straight in front. Kicks a goal. He kicked that one straight in front. And the Pies are back in front. Here at Optus, 8.250 plays 7.446. That is on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor proudly independents.
What a final. Just seen two champion teams just going blow for blow at the moment. Both sides getting looks inside forward 50. And Collingwood just doing enough to be able to knock on, surge on, get the ball into a dangerous spot. And Elliott, who made a blue just earlier, was able to fix that one up. Took a good mark inside forward 50. Well done to Goey to lower the eyes. And
Eagle fans not happy with maybe a holding the ball decision, but Elliott didn't have a lot of time to get rid of it.
It was held to him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then slapped away by the tackler.
Yeah, so he didn't drop it or do anything like that.
No, I don't think it was a free kick. Hoskin Elliott puts it through, though, punishes the West Coast Eagles. Gee, it's a terrific game. We've been blessed with great football over this weekend so far. One game to come. Of course, the winner here goes on to play Geelong. There's the bounce back in the centre. Nat Nui up early, backhands it down. Sheed ran past the football, went back and got it, and then it's stolen away from him by Treloar. Little 1-2 with Adams. Treloar hand passes inside the forward 50. Thomas has got it, runs outside the 50, and right on the logo, a long kick from Elliott down towards full forward. It's bending back, and it doesn't quite come back enough. It almost struck the post. It was that close. Behind the Collingwood. A good attack there. 7.446 plays 8.351. Collingwood on top. Hearn runs in, takes his full quota, drives it towards the outer side. Up goes Cameron, couldn't take the mark. Chance there behind. Main had it, then lost it. And at the base of that pack, well, Magin is lying on his side. Someone's behind him. I think it might have been Shuey. Tough in those packs at the present time. Umpire tosses it up again. Up goes Cameron, won the tap decisively against Nat Nui. Now it comes to Crisp off the pack. A hand pass to Treloar goes wide to Dacos. Dacos in full stride from 60. Sends it down towards the top of the square. Myercheck. Myercheck has taken the mark 15 metres out directly in front. And what a wholehearted footballer he is. He played in the VFA as it was. Came across as a mature age player for Collingwood, but he hasn't looked back. There's no more willing worker in their team than Myercheck. Fearless. And he beat quality opposition there, outpointing Hearn. And as I say, hit his head as he landed. Eagle supporters hoping it has some effect with a kick. It goes straight through the middle. That's what it does. And Collingwood stretch their lead now. It's out to 11 points. They're resisting strongly. 9.357, 7.446. And that's on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Myercheck's had a defensive forward role on McGovern tonight, making McGovern accountable. McGovern wasn't in that particular contest, but we know how hard-working Myercheck is. He's a blue-collar footballer, and just his work rate to be able to get inside off Shannon Hearn, came back at a kicker, took a good contested mark, and the Pies have gone bang, bang. And suddenly they've given themselves an 11-point lead.
Yeah, and as you spoke about it before, about them really making the Eagles play how they wanted to play, Collingwood zoning up. You can see that in the ball winners with Kelly, Sheed and Shuey all sitting on 8 disposals each. That's not even in their top 12, so you can really see it reflected in the ball winners for the Eagles on the Triple M Movember stats.
Good on you, Beastie. A bit of bang bang and a lick of ice cream all in the one go from Embers for Seabus Super as we bounce the footy back in the middle again. The tap gathered by Shuey. Gets on his left. It's a wobbler up towards half forward though. Maynard first to get there. Just gets the hand pass away. The pressure came from Ryan. It'll come off okay as Cameron went the don't argue. His hand pass a little long though for Maynard. Gathered by Shuey. Kicked it to the feet and ground of Ryan. He dived to try and keep it in play. Here's Cameron who gathers it for the Pies. And his kick not so good. Sheed will take the mark. Left half forward. Another short one to Shuey who needs to really step it up. a hamstring injuring himself, and he kicks inside, attacking 50. Kennedy had 2 goes at it, and he'll get a free. Little high contact. And Kennedy will go back from 45 outs when against Cameron. And the big man who's kicked a couple will test himself here, Andrew Embley.
Just want to have a little Triple M Bosch Tools replay. So Darcy Cameron is the ruckman who's sitting back behind the play, trying to get in a dangerous space. Kennedy got separation on rough head. It meant that Cameron had to defend. Just got it all wrong, gave away the free kick.
So here we go. Little stutter. And from 45, kicks towards goal. He's hit the post. It was looking good. Swung away late, and a minor score for the West Coast Eagles. They trail it by 10 now. 9-3 plays 7-5.
Quaynar to bring it in then. Runs his distance directly at Ryan and kicks it long, short of the wing. Nat Nui rises high. Spectacular mark. It was his all the way. Just crawled up the back of Cameron. That'll be in the papers tomorrow. Beauty by Nat Nui. Forward of the wing, drives it back inside the forward 50. Tailor-made for Ryan. Ryan emerged above the pack, didn't take the mark. Comes to Gaff, fires a hand past to Darling. He's pulled it back too much. He misses to the near side. He took the ball and kicked almost in the one action and probably had a bit more time than he knew. So a thriller at Optus Stadium. Moore's got the football. West Coast trying to find something here after back-to-back goals by the Magpies. Driven in by Moore, up towards the wing. Cameron, the young West Australian. Strong mark in the pack, hand passes to Adams. Adams sends it down towards half forward. Coming across is the big fella, Cox. He slams Colt at the canvas. The ball is in there somewhere. Diving in is Nelson. And we'll get a ball up. Cox and Duggan. Duggan is sort of looking at his navel as they shove up to each other.
And we'll ball it up.
Oh, it was a David Goliath moment there, wasn't it?
9 points, Magpies lead. Grundy does well to Noble, nearly caught in a tackle, just got the kick away, up towards centre half forward, ball fisted away West Coast way, comes down to Main though, gives it to Treloar, his kick, inside attacking 50, McGovern and Cox, McGovern falls over, it bounces on his head, caught in a tackle is Duggan, he has to get rid of the hand pass, he does, to Shuey. Now it's Cole who received from McGovern, his kick out will be trapped by Quaynar. He'll gather and kick it back inside 50. Pack will form. Lots of shepherding going on. Ryan deep in his defensive half gathers for West Coast. Gives it off to Duggan to Hearn. His kick up towards half back. T flew high. Nearly hauled in a ripper. This is Nat Nui. He left without it though. Bounced away. The hand pass Quaynar goes towards Maynard. 60 out. He kicks inside 50. There's a bit of body work. And it's going to go West Coast way. The mark was taken by Hearn. And he'll receive it and play further afield with a short pass. So West Coast under pressure at the moment, far side of the ground. They trailed then by 9 points.
3 minutes out from three-quarter time. Gaffer kick up towards the wing. Uncontested to make the mark is taken by Moore out there. Wants to go immediately. Swings it back to the centre circles. Hoskin Elliott marks and plays on. To space and De Goey. De Goey is down towards right half forward. Too far out to score. Just backs back, he's near the logo now and sends a long one inside the forward 50. Grundy works his way to the front of the pack, in from the side McGovern, thumps it 25 metres but straight to Treloar and he's missed. Now that's a goal, you would expect him, such a classy player, to kick, and he missed by about a metre. Camera has swung to Nathan Buckley. He's calm, but just thinking in the back of his mind, I wouldn't have thought he would have missed that. Now the ball is with Hearn. 9-4-7-6. Collingwood on top. Late in the third quarter. Short pass in. Taken by Shuey. Just dabs it across towards a teammate in Sheed. And Sheed is parked on the 50. The defensive 50 for the West Coast Eagles. He goes across back towards the front of goal. And Hearn comes out wide. Waterman has to work to get up the ground and mark it on his chest. And in doing so, fell to the ground. Now he's up. Sends it back to Hearn. About 15 metres out from his defensive goal square. Short to McGovern. They're playing with confidence here. He kicks it back towards the pocket and Duggan. Duggan pops it over the top as they try and get some separation on the outer side. Taken by Shepherd. Shepherd kicks it up to the wing and Gaff. And now they'll move. Gaff is on the move. Kicks from the logo. Down towards half forward. Grundy's in front. Kennedy split the pack from behind. Loose ball at the front of the pack. Momentarily Cripps had it. Now it's with Darling. Got to be holding the ball. Wonderful effort by Grundy. Grabbed the jumper front on and took him to the ground. He bulldogged him down. And Darling gives up the footy reluctantly.
Wow, that was a great tackle by Grundy. Just watching it again as Collingwood work it through their defensive half. They'll switch play, come to this broadcast side. Short pass to Magin. Comes from Noble. He runs outside his defensive 50. Good pass. Stevenson on the lead with a tired Waterman standing the mark. He goes short again. Just 15. Cronel has it. And he'll kick it back inside his defensive 50 to Maynard, who on the left will kick it out towards the wing. It was a good one. Marking it is Main. So about a minute remaining. Will the Pies charge forward or they just keep hold of the footy? 24 minutes gone. The Monopoly game at Macca's is making winners. Download the app now and get free chest opening the next day for your chance to win amazing prizes. Or prizes, as Noble has it. And now he decides to kick it long up towards half forward. Maybe a last chance for the Pies. Fisted away from Grundy. Gathered by Kelly. Gives it off to Shuey. His hand pass smothered. Here's another turnover. Treloar does well. Gets to the big fella in Cox. His hand pass inside 50. Not so good. Falling to the ground, Nelson. Somehow got it out towards Hearn. Now the hand pass to the boundary. Gathered by Shepherd. He was caught in a tackle. Couldn't get rid of the footy. Kelly helps him out and kicks it up towards the wing. Packle form. Moore been very good today. Fisting towards the boundary. Carried over by Noble. Wing position, far side of the ground. We'll have a throw in. With about 10 seconds remaining, it's 10 points to margin, and the Pies lead it at Optus Stadium as we approach three-quarter time. Ball thrown back into play. Wouldn't think there'd be another score. Kelly on hands and knees. Grundy stole it from him. The hand pass went to Pendlebury, who was caught in a tackle, and once again, another ball up. As we said, 9-4-58 plays 7-6-48. 25-minute quarter and 10 points to margin. That'll be it. Three-quarter time of the elimination final. And it's Collingwood leading the way by 10 points. Big final term coming your way for McDonald's Triple M. Rocks footy. It's do or die for the West Coast Eagles and Collingwood as we get stuck into the final term here at Optus Stadium. The Pies lead it. They're 9-4. 58 and the Eagles 7-6-48. Andrew Embley, who is going to be continuing on with their 2020 season right now.
Well, at the moment, Collingwood just had a really good third quarter. They were challenged by West Coast, especially after that first goal within the first 30 seconds of that third quarter, but they just won't go away. Collingwood, they are a team that is playing some really hard, tough football. They're getting the ball inside forward 50. And they're making the most of those opportunities as well. I thought Mason Cox presented better in that third quarter after a little bit quiet in the second. Outstanding first quarter to go. He started to look a bit dangerous. Hoskin Elliott was able to hit the scoreboard. Mychek's working really hard, starting to get his lick of the ice cream as well. And those inside 50 entries, they're converting. West Coast got to find a way to be able to get the ball played in their forward half. They're starting to get a little bit of football, but Collingwood's pressure and their ability just to be able to slow West Coast ball movement down in that third quarter was really important. West Coast forced to go long down the line a number of times. We saw Darcy Moore come off Jack Darling, take some great intercept marks. Then they go back inside forward 50. Only the 7 entries for West Coast in that third quarter. And a couple of those came from the centre bounce clearances. So West Coast got to find a way to get the ball in there because when the ball is in there, they're looking dangerous. But you're not giving Darling or Kennedy many looks at the moment, and that's going to be an issue in this last quarter.
Monopoly Game of Macca's is making winners. Download the app now and get a free chest opening the next day for your chance to win amazing prizes. Down on the boundary, tan for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, Brody Grundy starting on the bench again. So Nathan Buckley, he was the first player that Nathan Buckley went to, gave him a pat on the back. I'm not sure if he's got a problem. He's not well or something. He just looks really flat. So Darcy Cameron up against Nick Natanui for the first bounce of this one.
Good on you, Tam. Bob Jane T-Marts buy 3. Get 1 free on selected performance tyres from Bridgestone and Yokohama. BobJane.com.au. Here's the final term. And here's the best. Dennis Cometti.
Collingwood led by 16 points at quarter time, 3 points at half time, and now as we go into the final quarter, Collingwood lead by 10 points, 9-4 to 7-6. And fitting, this weekend has had 3 great games. One more to come, of course, this weekend, but this is right up there with the best of them. An outstanding weekend of football. 9-4-58 plays 7-6-48. A reasonable crowd. It's maximum. I reckon about 35,000 are they talking for this one? Yeah, 35,000. So they've made a lot of noise, very much at Pro Eagles House. And the Eagles now are in a scrap. Wait for the opening bouts. Cameron doing the rucking. Nat Nui leaps highest, wins the tap decisively down to Shuey. Shuey draws a man, hand passes to Cripps, back to Nat Nui. He drives it down towards full forward. Ryan! Well, Roughhead should have done better there. Ryan, a much smaller man, Roughhead came at him, didn't quite get there in time, but he mistimed his swipe with his fist. And Nat Nui's kick was well directed out of the centre. Shuey involved as well, and now Ryan could be the tonic the West Coast Eagles fans and the club are after. This is not beyond him. Nice kick. He'll come in over the logo and kick from about 40 metres out. So a 45-degree angle. Ryan's kick is on the way. It looks pretty good. It's tight. He's got a goal. What a way to start the final term. Suddenly, the margin is back to less than a goal. 58 plays 54. Liam Ryan. Collingwood haven't had the football in this term. It's been brief, but wonderful stuff to start the quarter. Just what the coach would have ordered.
So Nathan Buckley's thinking at the moment to start Darcy Cameron, and we saw him do that at the start of the third quarter. Straight away, centre bounce clearance goal. Straight away to start this last quarter, centre bounce clearance goal. The thinking for mine behind it is that if Darcy can really work over Nick Nat for the next 6 or 7, 8 minutes, Nat Nui's going to need a spell, which means that Grundy's going to come on and potentially get an Oscar Allen. That's what they're going to try to do at the Pies, but they can't afford centre bounce clearances as easy as the one that just happened then.
He's up and about, Andrew Embley. Seabus Super, a super fund you can trust. Very excited. It's been a cracking game. So enjoyable, and it's now 4 points to margin. There's Grundy on the big screen, just waiting to get amongst the action. He leaves it for Cameron at the moment. Bounce to the footy again. Nat Nui works his way around, taps it over his head to Shuey, to Sheed. The high kick out towards right half forward. Waterman standing underneath it. Main there as well. Ball bounces away from them. Well done, Chris. Forces it towards the boundary line. He'll be happy there. He's had a pretty good game. He's as solid as a rock down in defence, and we'll have a throw in right half forward for West Coast.
Shuey starting to lift now for West Coast. He's up to 14 disposals, 6 clearances. He's had a big second half on the Triple M Movember stats.
Here's Nat Nui again. Kelly sharks it. Hand pass to Cripps. Kicks inside, attacking 50. Darling chases out after it. Will he get there first? No, Allen does. Madgen brings him to ground. Caught in a tackle, Noble. Umpire says once again, give it to me, 35 out. On the angle, we'll have another ball up. It is a 4-point margin, 2.5, nearly 3 minutes gone in this final term.
Tossed in the air. This time it's one down by Cameron, chucked by a West Coast Eagle who snapped at goal. I think it was Kelly, was it? Or Gaff?
Cripps.
Oh, well, there you go. The little fella, hidden by the pack, has snapped and put it through for the minor score, so they creep closer. 55 plays 58. Moore to bring it in. Moore drives it towards the outer side. High ball. Nat Nui is there. Flying over the pack is Duggan. Punches it the Eagles' way. Coming up is Cripps. Gets a hand pass to Gaff. Gaff close to the boundary line. Hooks it back across his body. Ryan is coming to the football. They meet at the football. Big collision. 2 Collingwood players and Ryan. Loose ball close to the boundary. Gathered in there by Maynard. Slips a hand pass away to Adams. Adams kicks it outside the defensive 50. Coming across there is Nelson. He hesitated. Nat Nui came in. He did not. Got the ball across towards Sheed. Hand pass intercepted by Greenwood. He wriggles out of the tackle. Gives a hand pass to Dacos. Dacos at right half back. Hand passes forward. Gets the ball back from Stevenson. Hand passes to Greenwood. Fumble on the outer side wing. Greenwood picks it up. Comes back inboard. Beats a couple of would-be tacklers. Scrambles a kick down towards half forward. Hearn's got it now. Slips a hand pass away and driven around the outer side again by Gaff. Down towards the 50. And this time it's marked by Cameron, and that should be 50. Well, Cripps just put him on the deck, sat him down. No need to put his hands on him.
45 out from his defensive goal. They hold a 3-point lead, the Magpies. Tense stuff early in the final term. Kick along the wing. Hoskin Elliott flies, then gathers his own mark. Comes down towards Dacos, by hand to Pendlebury on the wing, gets it on the left, up towards half forward, and running back with the fly, taking a great mark is Barris.
He's recovered after a slow start, Barris. Got towed up early with Mason Cox kicking those 3 goals on him within about 6 minutes of the first quarter, but he's been better since then.
He bombs it high to the wing. Ryan flying. Jumped a little early again. Gathers the footy though. Shakes off a few tacklers. Gives it to Hearn. Now to Sheed. Gets it on the left. Kicks up towards half forward. Darling flew high. Couldn't get it. Cripps gathers. Hand pass. Allen from 25. Kicks a goal. Listen to the roar. 35,000 in attendance, the biggest crowd of the year, and they're loving it right now. 5 gone in the final term. The Eagles take back the lead. 3 points to margin.
Well, clearances 4-0. Inside 50 entries 5-0. In this last quarter, the experiment so far to start Darcy Cameron in the ruck instead of Brodie Grundy has not worked. Grundy's on the ground right now.
Yeah, just ran on the grounds. And Nat Newey's still there, Den, so this is a real test for both ruckmen.
The interesting thing is it wasn't just Grundy off, it was Treloar too. So having 2 horses like that off for the start of that crucial fourth quarter was a big one for the Triple M Movember stats.
61 plays 58 then. The Magpies fall behind. Allen elated with that goal. And so were a number of his teammates who got to him quickly, but still a long way from home. Grundy and Nat Newey across the circle, staring at each other. Good bounce. Nat Newey goes up. Grundy stayed on the ground. Nat Newey knocked it down to Sheed. Hand passes to Redden. Kicks it down towards half forward. Storming up the ground, pushing there was Ainsworth. He's going to be penalised. And the free kick will go to the man who was going stride for stride with him, and that's Noble. Both of them quite quick. Noble in particular plays on wide of the mark, runs up towards the wing, drives it long down towards half forward. Nat Newey is there in front. The mark has been taken by Hearn, and it's paid.
He's been real good in this second half.
Now Hearn finds himself in space, runs on the former skipper, and Gaff is lifted in this quarter, had a lot of the football already. Goes out wide, they can move it forward now. Ainsworth to Sheed, a hand pass over the top to Darling. Darling goes to the pocket and Cripps, surrounded by black and white. Kept his head, goes back towards the middle. Terrific stuff by Stevenson. Got back hard and punched it away. It looked like it was going to be an Eagles mark. And now under pressure, Madgen. Well done, Ryan. He forced the error and the ball's gone out of bounds. But a fair way from the goals. It's gone out about 70 metres out. And the kick will be taken by Cole.
Cole has it. A long way out from goal. We'll just set it up and hope for a flyer. That man is Kennedy. Best position to take a mark, and he has. That was beautiful. Measured perfectly. And Kennedy stood and took it. But on the angle, it's a tough kick for JK.
So he'll run around and snap it on his left. He practiced these kicks a lot, Josh Kennedy. 35 he'll be kicking from. He sets up. He practices these all the time at training.
Here he goes, on the left, snapping round the corner. And to the left-hand side, far side, he misses for a minor score.
Easier at training.
So a minor one, 9.862, plays 9.458. The Pies will come to this broadcast side through Moore. The kick, though, will be marked by Waterman, who's played a good game as well from the wing. He just kicks it inside 50 again. It'll be 3 against 1 in favour of the Magpies. Well played by Moore, fisted it over the line.
Pies need to get a move on here, Lock. 8 inside 50 to zip to start this fourth quarter for the Eagles on the Triple M Movember stats.
Chris Mayne's had a pretty quiet night tonight. Good to see him back after that horrendous clash earlier. Out of the ruck, it's taken by Madgen, who kicked it in the wrong direction intentionally, and now it's a rough-head free kick. It was angled back towards the goal square. Roughhead about 20 metres out from that defensive goal square. Drives to the broadcast side, the northern wing. From behind, punched away by McGovern. Charging through the pack was Shepherd. They're playing for keeps now. Redden off to Gaff. He loves this environment. Hooks it down towards full forward. Ryan launches at the football. And Kennedy's kick is away to the left and bounces through for a behind. Unusual. Ryan was the flyer. Kennedy was on the ground. And Kennedy almost snapped a goal, wasting no time. Maynard brings it in, kicks it to Main. His first possession in this last quarter. He's at left half back.
He has it and kicks it out towards the wing. Grundy's best place to take the mark, and he does, the big man, trying to work over Nat Nui, who's further down the fields. He'll chip it. Main, surely not 15, Dan.
No.
That wasn't 15. And Main will take the mark, told to play on now. Kicks up towards left half forward. Cox is running at it. Barris went a little early. Well done, Thomas. Caught in a tackle, though he's in trouble. Just got rid of it. Oh, Myercheck gathers. Myercheck kicks a goal! On the left! On the boundary and straight through the high diddly middle. The Pies by one. They're 10-4-64. Playing 9-9-63. 10 gone in the final term. That's on the Triple M Installer Room scoreboard. Built tough for Aussie conditions with the latest technology when it comes to water heating. Install a ream.
So, big moment. Grundy takes a big contested mark on the wing. That's important. Nick Nananui's gone off now for a rest. Grundy's fresh. Oscar Allen to take the ruck for West Coast. But Thomas inside forward 50. How good was he just to be able to get his hands free, strong in the tackle, and good enough to give it. And Myercheck running by. The hard-working blue-collar Myercheck. What a finish.
And the 2 marks, 2 goals from Myercheck tonight, and that one was brilliant on the Triple M Movember stats.
I reckon if you're a coach, he'd be a favourite player.
Yeah.
Just does everything wholeheartedly. We mentioned it before. Just works his heart out for the team. Anything required, he'll do it, including kicking a wonderful goal. 10-4-64, 9-9-63. Collingwood back in front. Bounce in the centre. Favours a Collingwood player on the outer side. Scramble still in that centre square. Picked up by Treloar. Kicked forward by Waterman, is it? Down towards half-forward. No, it's Nelson. Off hands. Taken by Archie. Running towards goal. Pushed as he kicked. And he hit the post. So it's going to be a free kick to Collingwood. Out of bounds on the full. In effect, it's taken by Crisp, who sends it delicately just outside the defensive 50 and just inside the boundary. And the mark has been taken out there by Main, who drives it up towards the wing. Grundy flies, and that's a good mark. Grundy. Can he impose himself on the game now? He's behind right centre wing. Decides just to lay it off out wide. And Collingwood control the football out there. Ball comes back from Adams. Taken by Crisp. Short one. Grundy marks again. Just behind the logo. Out towards right centre wing. Then they're attacking down that outer side. Grundy looking for a target. Decides to go towards Myercheck, who was pushed in the back. Myercheck. He's going to get a free kick. He cannoned into another Eagle, but the push came earlier from behind. McGovern pushed him into the Eagle, who's slowly getting up. And who's that, Lockie?
That's Shepherd.
Okay.
Had a couple of knocks today, Brad Shepherd, and now he's limping. So Myercheck will take it right half forward. He'll kick it inside attacking 50. Pack will hover, and Ryan has taken the mark. He ran down really hard from the attacking half of the ground, Liam Ryan. He's become the complete player. And that was a great grab. 1 point is Collingwood's lead. We've gone 13 and a bit minutes. He kicks it out towards left half back. Kelly couldn't trap it. He might get it again, though. The hand pass from Redden missed his target. Greenwood will gather. Kicks inside 50. It's a wobbler towards the boundary line. McGovern there. Hand pass was blocked, but it went into the hands of Nelson, who kicks it round the corner. Terrific grab, though, Jack Darling. It'll be a free kick against Luke Shuey, and it's 50.
It's got to be 50. It's got to be 50. Jack Darling's throwing the ball away.
So he went for the hand pass further afield to Duggan, wanting to play on, but it's coming back, but no 50. So Myercheck takes the free. If you look on the Bosch Tools replay, Shuey did take his eye off the footy and just run straight into Myercheck. The kick Inside 50 again. McGovern, the man in front. Play on, said the umpire. No, Mark. Play on, Jeremy. Play on, mates. No, don't play on. Just get tackled and thrown to the turf. 15 metres out from goal. Score check, 10-4-64, the Pies. The Eagles, 9-9-63 on the installer room scoreboard.
Ball thrown up there, in goes Shepherd after the footy. Grabbed by De Goey, hooks it back across his body. Oh, what a kick. De Goey has kicked the goal of the game. And there's been a few beauties. De Goey then adds to the Collingwood lead. They lead by 7, 11-4, 70 to 9-9-63. And the umpires need to be very careful. They're losing control of this game. The players are making their own arrangements out there. That score on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, proudly independent.
Well, the game turns. The game turns when Nick Naitanui goes onto the bench. He's back on now. When Grundy wasn't there, West Coast kicked 2 goals. Naitanui goes off. Collingwood respond with a couple of goals. They're up by 13 points, and De Goey hasn't had a big impact on the game, but 2 massive goals in the second half. None better than that one to give the Pies a 13-point lead.
So 10 on the boundary, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, Eagles defender Brad Shepherd, I think he copped a massive cork. He's been on one leg for a couple of minutes, and De Goey was his man who just kicked the goal, so he's hobbled to the bench, but knowing Brad Shepherd, he'll trying to get back on.
So Grundy on the bench, Naitanui back on. It's a 7-point advantage. 11-4-70 plays 9-9-63. And we're going to bounce the footy again. 15 and a half gone for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy. Elimination time. The trap was good from Elliott. Gathers it out of the middle. The kick even better to Hoskin Elliott. Here go the Pies. Lobs a hand pass to Thomas. Kicks inside attacking 50. A little firm, was it? No, nearly mark taken by De Goey. Paddles it out. Treloar gives it off to a teammate in Adams. He was bumped as he tried to kick it. Oh, Myercheck! Myercheck's taken another one. This has been amazing. He kicked the last goal of the third quarter. He kicked the first of the fourth. And he's going to try for another one.
Hands in the back is not a rule anymore. Hands in the back is not a rule.
Hands in the back is not a rule. It went out a few years ago, was the message from the umpire to Luke Shuey. So Myercheck is tight to the boundary. This is a tough kick, but he's a right footer, so it'll suit him. Needs to stap it round the corner for a margin of 13. That is exactly what it is. 3 goals for Myercheck, and the Pies have control of the game with 5.5 remaining.
What a response by Collingwood. West Coast started this last quarter really well with those inside 50 entries, and Collingwood have just been brave. They've been resilient, and they have come to play tonight. You just had a feeling that they were going to bring something, and Nathan Buckley's boys are playing the game of their lives, their best game this season, and they're doing it when it matters.
Yeah, you said it, Embers. The last 5 inside 50s, 5 out of 7 now to the Pies in this final term after the Eagles started 8-0 in that category in the start of the fourth quarter on the Triple M Movember stats.
Remarkable finish to a great game. It deserves the big finish. Myercheck, watching the replay, absolutely delighted. He's run his heart out on the forward line, never stopped running, never stopped tackling, and now suddenly he's got 3 goals for the night. He's been the star. There's the bounce, and a good one too. Naitanui goes up, wins the tap. Going after it and falling over was Shuey. Standing his ground was Waterman. Coming through was Adams strongly. Feeds the ball out of the pack, taken by Duggan. Kicks it down towards half forward. Awkward bouncing ball. Goes inside the forward 50. Archie's after the footy. It rolls across towards Cripps. Cripps a hand pass to Darling. Darling back to goal. Hooks it back over his left shoulder. Strong defensive mark. Is taken down there by Cameron. Charged into the pack. Took it on his chest, and now he short passes to the pocket. Maynard, he's made a mistake. He kicked it into Gaff. Comes again. He managed to hand pass away, but straight to Ryan. Ryan deep in the pocket. Measures his opportunities, and that is a magnificent pass back to Kennedy, who's 20 metres out directly in front. It was about 1.5 metres off the ground all the way, right onto Kennedy's chest.
Oh, what a pass. Liam Ryan, his vision, his ability just to be able to look inside and spear a kick between a couple of Collingwood players. This is massive.
Kennedy's got 2 and he comes. Normally so reliable. And this one is no different. He puts it through the middle. Still game on. 7 points the difference then. What a terrific game of football it's been. The Eagles are 10-9-69. Collingwood are 12-4-76. And we've still got about 5 minutes to play.
So just a composure piece from Maynard. Pinned in his defensive 50. He had a target up the ground, but he wanted to move the ball quickly. Just got to take a bit of time off the clock. Don't give West Coast an opportunity to get themselves back in the contest. You don't need to move the ball quickly, Maynard. Yep. And he puts himself under pressure, and his immediate opponent, Ryan, was able to win the footy. Great tackle by Gaff, but it was just a muck-up.
Testicular cancer is the number 1 cancer in young men. Grow a Mo to save a bro. Go to Movember.com. Beast has been looking after our Movember stats. And there's the crowd, 32,865, the biggest for 2020. Nice to have the fans in attendance here. Any thoughts with those battling away over in Melbourne? Hopefully things clear up for you and you can get out and about very soon as we bounce the footy back in the middle again. Nat Nui against Grundy. The big boys now coming to play and they tackle each other and we'll have another ball up straight in the middle of the grounds.
Yeah, how good is this? We got Gaff and Treloar dueling, 24 for Treloar, 23 for Gaff, and the 2 big boys, Grundy and Grody and Nick Nat. So here's Allen, his hand pass to no one in particular. Kelly tried to steal it away as he burst through the pack. Umpire's not going to pay anything. The kick off the ground went to DeGoey. Now he's in a bit of trouble. He's going to be caught holding the ball. Just got the kick away. It's a high one towards centre half back. Fisted forward by Duggan. Trapped by Adams. Now with Quainer. He gathers and kicks up towards half forward. Stevenson runs on, takes a good mark.
Oh,
Eagles said it was touched.
The umpire didn't see it.
No, he didn't. So Stevenson will take it and now kick it dangerously inside attacking 50. Cox is there. Barras fists it forward. Straight down to Greenwood, though. His kick was smothered. Barras took the mark and took on the tackler. He was brought to ground, couldn't do much else. And we'll throw it up about 10 metres out. 10 on the boundary very quickly.
Yeah, DeGoey just hobbled off the ground. I think he rolled his ankle in a tackle, so he's just sitting down for the Pies.
Umpire tosses it up. Hooked down by Nat Nui, driven out of defence, up towards the wing. Coming through is Ryan over the football. Quaynard in the opposite direction. He's got the football. Going nowhere. Ryan whips out a hand pass. Taken on the other side by Allen. Kicks it up towards the wing. Roughhead leads in the race. Grabbing his Cripps, and that's got to be holding the ball surely. No hell to him, says the umpire. Well, he seemed to have time. There was daylight between the pair, or moonlight if you like, on the outer side, and then Cripps grabbed him, and I would have thought he had prior opportunity. Anyway, it's tossed up. Rucks go at it. Over the top, Grundy knocks it down to his own advantage. Smothered off the boot by Gaff, taken away by Adams. Adams a high ball, floats it down towards half forward. And interfering there was Hoskin Elliott, getting into the back of McGovern. But time, the essence here. McGovern needs to move it quickly, comes out wide. It's 69-76, Collingwood lead. Ball is taken by Waterman, drives it inside the forward 50, and guess who? The hero of the last term. The man who might put them through to the next round of the finals, Myercheck, steps up again, takes the mark, and then does a short pass, which apparently wasn't 15, towards the boundary and Madgen. Well, it appeared to be 15. We've got a side view of that one. Anyway, out of defence, Moore kicks a high one in front. Well, that's big. Cox takes the mark, and he's finishing as he started, taking important marks. Well, one. But even so, it's pretty important. 7 points the difference. And he sends this one to the wing from behind McGovern. Anything you can do, I can do better. Climbed above the pack, took a terrific mark, goes short to Waterman. Waterman just forward of centre wing. The Eagles have no time to waste. Drives it long inside the forward 50. Moore in best position. Oh, from the side there was a climber there in Ryan. To the back of the pack, Sheed. High tackle. Free kick is going to the West Coast Eagles. West Coast will get a free kick directly in front. Darling. And he will shoot a goal with a minute and a half remaining.
Didn't see what happened. Just trying to have a little triple and box score replay there. Chris coming in, getting him a little bit late.
They started the clock. It's down to 1:22 now as he comes in and kicks. He's got the goal. Oh, what a finish. There's a point the difference. 11-9-75 to 12-4-76. Collingwood lead by a meagre point. We could go to extra time.
What a game of football we've seen tonight. We've seen 3 cracking games already before this one, and we're seeing an absolute fantastic finish. 1:17 to go. It's the Pies by a point.
6 marks, 3 goals for Darling now on the Triple M Movember stats.
So we're back in the middle. With a little over a minute remaining, 1 point the margin. 12-4-76 plays 11-9-75.
I don't know why Brodie Grundy is not in for this centre bounce.
Absolutely, Embers. Go with your big guns. Collingwood lead it, but only just. The prize fighter, Nat Nui, jumping around in the centre circle. Cameron stands and waits. Bounce of the footy. A minute remaining. Nat Nui tried to tap it down. Cameron did well. Nat Nui tackled him. Stripped of the footy. The kick comes out towards the wing. Noble first there. He kicks it sideways. Packle form. The fist came from Gaff with the numbers. Quaynor did well. Gave it off to Adams. Kicks up towards half forward. Running back with the flood. Hearn. Oh, the 2 Eagles fell over. Gathered by the Pies. The kick inside 50. Fist away from Barris. Gathered by Treloar. Kicks towards the goal. It's bounced. It stayed in. It stayed in play. McGovern gathers. Kicks towards right half back. They've just got to go. 40 seconds remaining. Waterman to Gaff. Gaff through the middle of the ground. Finds Kelly. Run of Cole. Cole ran into a player. He set him up. The Pies will turn it over. Well done by Pendlebury. Kicked it out towards left half forward. And they'll win the game for sure, the Pies now.
Well, it wasn't Kelly's fault. Cole called for the ball, and Kennedy gave it instinctively, or rather Kelly gave it instinctively, and Cole ran into a dead end. He was the one that could see what was going on. Now the short pass has gone to Noble. The bench is telling him they're only about 15 metres away to take his time. Play on's the call. Noble drives it down towards half forward. There's the siren. A wonderful victory for Collingwood. Collingwood have hung on to win by a point. 12-4-76. The West Coast Eagles 11-9-75. And what a terrific game of football.
Side by side they stick together to uphold the Magpies' name. See the barricades are shouting as all barricades should. Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood.
The Eagles are stunned. The Pies are celebrating. The final score was 1 point in the elimination final. Collingwood live to fight another day. The Eagles are done for 2020. What an amazing final. Let's hear the song again, Das. We'll go again with the Pies song. Everyone loves this song.
Good old Collingwood forever. They know how to play the game. Side by side they stick together to uphold the Magpies' name.
Well, Andrew Lamberley, let's get your thoughts, because we just had to take a breather, to be honest. That was just quite amazing. Nathan Buckley coming out onto the grounds, and he's having a bit of a crack with no, there are some Collingwood fans there, so he's not stirring up the Eagles fans. He's just celebrating with 2 or 3 Collingwood fans that are down in front
And he's
of us.
allowed a hug.
Yeah, he's allowed a hug. That's just an unbelievable game of footy and a great win from Collingwood. They've been in quarantine like the Eagles, who have been in for 14 days. The Pies in 7 days, and they get the job done and live to fight another day.
What a win by Collingwood. Congratulations to them. They were well beaten last time they were here. They put that game behind them and they came here. No one gave them a chance tonight, and they played to really quality football. They were together all night. West Coast challenged them at times, but they found a way. And why don't we go downstairs to...
No, we won't just yet, but
not yet.
I think Scott
Pendlebury was having a chat. We'll get ready to go to him shortly. But just 2 teams who have had wonderful history for a long time. We might go down now.
Sort of when Will took that mark, I was looking over at the bench and I wanted to see something with how long they all started celebrating, so I thought we must have it. So, these two sides, we definitely know how to have a thriller, don't we?
Hey, Scotty, did you get a sense that you were playing in one of the great games? We loved it. It just had everything, high marks, great contests, and then right down to the last second. Could you feel that there was something special tonight?
Yeah, you could just feel the energy. I think we've forgotten how good having a crowd is. 35 or whatever it was tonight, and you can see all the finals, just the energy they give the game as well. So, it was a really good game.
Brodie Meyer check Pendles, 2 in the last. That left foot snap on the run, my God.
Yeah, it was a bit like Swanee when Swanee kicked one on Anzac Day 1 year. They were trying to put it to the top of the square, I'm sure of it, and it just slid straight through. So, we'll take those.
And we saw a couple of times tonight, Pendles, when Nathan Buckley backed in young Darcy Cameron against Nick Nat, as opposed to Grundy. He stood up when it counted.
Yeah, well, it was a real team effort. We wanted to try and go, those two boys playing with high energy. We didn't want to run Brodie into the ground. He's had such a big workload for probably 4 years now, and I thought Darcy aerially down the line was fantastic, took some really important marks to help our backs out, and thought both those guys did really well.
And you renew acquaintances with your finals opponents, the Cats next week. The most finals in this year of VFL, AFL Cats and the Pies. It's going to be a corker.
Yeah, it is. I feel like I've played all my finals against either the West Coast or Geelong. So, it'll be a good game. So, just want to enjoy tonight first, and then, play. Yeah, Geelong is it. So, looking forward to that.
Hey, Pendles, just quickly, you've had 7 days in hard lockdown again. You've had coaching staff in camper bounds. What happens next? When do you fly out? What's the program?
I think we fly out tomorrow morning. So, we leave on a bus. We're classified as dirty over here, so and the crowd let us know that tonight. So we'll happily get out and get back to the sunny coast and reacquaint with our family. They'll all be there. We say a big hello, and we can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Hey, Pendles, you'd be called dirty, stinking, whatever you like, as long as you take the W.
Absolutely, call us whatever you want.
Hey, well played.
Cheers, thanks guys, appreciate it.
So there we go. The game will be Collingwood and Geelong on Saturday night, Richmond and the Saints on the Friday night. This is going to be an interesting finals campaign. As you said, Collingwood and Geelong will be a ripping contest, won't it?
Well, it will be, absolutely. The Pies, we know that they've become a big September team. They play some really big finals. West Coast and Collingwood had some absolute cracking games, and tonight was no different, and could have gone either way. But well done to Nathan Buckley's men. They found a way, and they worked extremely hard all night. And my check in that last quarter, geez, he stood up and kicked some clutch goals. I thought Taylor Adams was just outstanding all night. Pendlebury's just got so much time through the midfield. Grundy got worked over by Nick Nananui, but took some big grabs late in the game. And even DeGoey, not a big night for him, but a couple of big goals in the second half, played his role. Obviously, Mason Cox in that first quarter really got things going for Collingwood. So when they're up and about, they've got a group at the moment, Collingwood, that you never know. Against Geelong next week, they've got midfielders that find the footy. They're really balanced. They've got a forward line tonight that was functioning and looking dangerous. Their back line really stood up. Darcy Moore was really good, had a great matchup on Jack Darling tonight, but they'd be wrapped. And just to see the celebrations on the boundary line when Collingwood won that game, when the siren went, showed how much it meant to that football club.
And a devastated West Coast Eagles walk off the ground. Den, not only do they know that they're out of the finals campaign, but they've got to now stay at home in quarantine for another 14 days. That is a double whack.
Well, I'll sit back and measure their season by frequent flyer points.
And no player
those?
carried off the ground. So obviously Kennedy and Hearn at this stage intend to play on next year.
Yeah, didn't look at that, but they'd be really disappointed. West Coast, really flat. They just had one of those seasons where lost some key players at crucial times, just weren't able to get the job done. They finished 5th. They could have easily finished 4th, got the double chance, but they come up against a red-hot Collingwood today who came to play. Tanya Armstrong said it in the before the game that Collingwood could ambush West Coast, and they came with a plan, and well done Nathan Buckley's men.
Well, I think the ambush occurred very early in the game. Mason Cox got a lot of space. They kept away from him, the other Collingwood players. The high ball came in and Barris was caught out. The kicks were superb coming in, just placed in front of his face, and as a result he was able to go up and get them, and Barris was committed to stay on his back almost. He couldn't just slow down and then take the spring and punch it away. And that set up the victory. When you look back, that probably was the difference because they were chasing all night, well, just about all night, the West Coast Eagles. They did get in front at one stage, couldn't hold the lead, and the nucleus of Collingwood is very strong. And I would imagine the sort of around the edges players at Collingwood will determine how far they go in these finals.
Absolutely. The boys are making their way into the rooms. They're very, very happy as they're clapping themselves. Lots of high fives, and we might try and get the song in just a moment. Bucks is there. Plenty of high fives from him. He'd be absolutely pumped with his team's performance against the West Coast Eagles. The final margin was 1 point, 12-4-76 played, 11-9-75. The Pies continue on in 2020. And we might sneak down in just a second and get the boys singing the song because everyone is in it, Dan. Everyone is about to join in and sing along to Collingwood's song. We might sneak down now. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
They'll enjoy themselves, no doubt about that, but they'll get on a bus and a plane tomorrow and head back to the Gold Coast to continue on with their season. The West Coast Eagles, as I said, will go into quarantine for another 14 days and just take time to reflect. We'll talk more about the Pies in a moment. Just get your thoughts on West Coast and another disappointing season. They added Tim Kelly. They thought they were in the premiership mode. They let themselves down last year by not finishing in the top four, and once again this year they just couldn't get in the top four and give themselves more of a chance to win the flag.
That's right, and just got to look at the midfield group for mine has probably been a concern for West Coast. They've got so many A-graders that run through there. Kelly, Shuey, Gaff. They've got Elliot Yeo, obviously didn't play tonight, but they just didn't seem to get the balance and the mix right. They've got a lot of players that play a similar role in there. And for a team that has got so many stars running through there and the most dominant ruckman in the competition, they struggle to be able to convert clearances into inside 50 entries. They're not a great contested possession team, so something's missing right there. When they go inside forward 50, they look dangerous. Again, Darling was really good tonight. Kennedy was really good tonight. What did they get? 6 goals between them? Oscar Allen stood up, kicked a couple of goals. But when you're lacking that inside 50 entries on the back of their mids not being able to find enough footy and then getting hurt the other way a little bit as well, it's a concern for mine, and it just, as I said, just did not get that balance right all year for me.
So do they have to make a move at the trade period? Are we talking that they have to trade someone out to get a different type of player in to give them that advantage?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Elliot Yeo they really missed. Elliot Yeo's the big-bodied mid that sacrifices his game to go onto the opposition best mid and just... He would have worked Pendlebury over tonight. He would have just given West Coast a different look inside that group. But
so would a Steele Sidebottom as well, wouldn't
right.
it, for the Pies?
That's right.
That's true.
But Steele Sidebottom's, he's a very good outside player. I'm looking more of a West Coast hard-bodied mid that's got a defensive mindset.
Yep.
And, Shuey's really good on the fly. Kelly's really good on the fly. But the issue is, if you don't get it, you get hurt the other way. And that's what happened a bit tonight. Adams was really good. I thought Greenwood worked really hard, and Kelly won some football as well. Pendlebury's always a really quality player. So your West Coast had to find a way to get the ball inside forward 50 more. And I think it was an area where they struggled in this year.
Made a very good point there too, Lockie. I think Steele Sidebottom missing. Of course, when they won here last year, round 17, they won by that point. He got the 3 Brownlow votes, so he's very important to them as well. I would say the top 10 at Collingwood is as good as anyone's top 10. It's just that they fall away a little bit after that, but tonight the top 10 played well enough to get them over the line, and a couple of those sort of also-rans, and I'm not saying Myercheck is an also-ran, but he probably wouldn't be in their top 10, and yet he was the linchpin of the whole victory, wasn't he? He never stopped working when he wasn't getting goals, and then at the end, the bonus was he kicked goals, and it really broke the heart of the West Coast Eagles.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable game. Well done to Collingwood. They got the points. It was just terrific from both teams, but to come over here to the West and take the points and get themselves into the next week of finals, into the semi-finals against Geelong. It was an awesome performance. 12-4-76. They defeated the West Coast Eagles 11-9-75.
And fair to say the Victorian teams have carried the brunt of the problems in terms of what's happened this year. Just 4 home games for some of them.
Absolutely. For McDonald's, Triple M, Rocks Footy.